NathanIvey.com. Mr. Ivey know the show must go on. As far as Cincinnati, man, I put on. Tunes made another flame beat for me to cook on. Raised dogs, close fists, yeah, too strong. Team AI, chop it up at the chop shop. Top notch with the king flow, the hot shot. Cop squats in, listen to the real. Jumping like hopscotch, nobody harder than, oh, no, think not. Not only citywide, but nationwide. Superlatives, keep it locked like the Haitian guys. Put the truth in the airwaves, we talk about it. Brand new like the tent place, let's be about it. Who got the info about it? Hey, yo, Jono be the rapper, got them jamming when they play him. Staying in my lane, they ain't gotta okay him. Who the host with the scoop? Yeah, they gon' say him. Ivy, so superlative like a bag of drippos. Show you where the Brits at, Cincinnati Reds at. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at. It's the 513, yeah, you know the flow. What's the word, Nate? Let them know the show. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at.
Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great week. It's a beautiful Friday here on Nathan Ivey Show because we're just so happy to get through the weekend or get to the weekend. It's the last weekend before Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving, of course, is midweek, and I'll give you some updates. I will be traveling, so it will disrupt the show at least one day. And then we'll get back to a regular scheduled program. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. We are living in the last days. We are living in the last day. What is that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 words, which I have used many times over the years as an observation in the crazy world we live in. That scene right there is a scene. Those are the two men that Memphis police suspect killed young Dolph. Of course, that was some of the more tragic news from this past week. A man who spent most of his life in Memphis was killed in Memphis. And he was killed right outside of what appears to be a black-owned cookie store, Makita's Butter Cookies. He said he walked into the store to buy some cookies, and two men drove up and shot him. Two men drove up in a white, I believe it was a white Mercedes-Benz that you can kind of see like off in the distance. And they killed his brother. I don't think they robbed him. They just shot and killed him. So still speculation is out and tempers are flaring down in Memphis. Living in the last days. I thought that Charlemagne the God, I'm not sure how plugged in you are. Hey, good morning. Welcome back to the show. I thought that Charlemagne the God, I don't always watch or get a chance to even see or view or hear his donkey of the day. But he gave these two gentlemen right here, these two men, the shooters, he gave them donkey of the day yesterday. It's about an 8-minute piece, well worth your time. I thought the brother, he hit the target. Some great flows on the topic. Very similar to a conversation that we had, talking about ego and jealousy and envy and the things that would motivate a person to murder somebody else. Now, it may come out that this is a long-standing beef and it kind of caught up with them, or it may be something else. We shall find out. But nonetheless, we are living in the last days of common sense. It is out the window. This is uncharted territory. This is the new frontier. Okay, this is not our grandparents' generation, back when people had some damn sense. As a matter of fact, I think maybe our generation, the millennials, maybe the last two generations with any damn sense left. But we shall see. The evidence is pretty easy to see in front of us. All you got to do is pick up your phone and get on Facebook or get on whatever your favorite social media site is. You'll see it for yourself. Crazy. Absolutely. Yeah, the water's running out. We got an inch of topsoil left in some places. The top shelf of ice is melting into the Antarctic. We're polluting more than ever before. We're losing more and more species. You got this damn coronavirus that's running through our neighborhoods like Herschel Walker used to run through defenses on Tecmo Bowl. Yeah, it's crazy. What are morals? What are standards? That's out the window. It's me, I need it, I want it, I need it, I want it. That's the generation we're in right now. We've never been more full of ourselves as we are right now. We have never been more full, completely full of ourselves as we are right now. God's little narcissistic, selfish ass creatures. It's the truth. It's the truth. Most deaf. And in that context, we shouldn't be surprised by what we see in the news. We shouldn't be surprised by this. Very sad. Very, very sad. Good morning to you. 513-873-7134. If you want to share your thoughts this morning, you can do so pretty easily by dialing that number. I'll throw it up on the screen for you. Boom, there it is. This is my home office as such. Not the biggest space in the world, but big enough to do what we do here. Broadcasting live, just giving you a different perspective. Good morning to you. Yes, yes, yes. Good morning. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. What's on your mind? What's on your mind? TNT writes, it sounds like a hit. Sounds and looks like it. Fame writes, watching King Richard on HBO Max, so far Venus and Serena are bigger holes than originally suspected. Richard was loving a man. How y'all doing though? Is that right? I can't wait to watch it. Can't wait to watch it. Can't wait to see it. Hey, Donnie B's in the house. I miss your voice, sis. I keep telling you that. Miss her voice. Good to see you. So, as I said, we tried to catch up with this sister yesterday. And again, I just think very highly about this sister coming to the stage. I just love what she's doing. I love it. One of my former colleagues, I've said it to her. I'll keep saying it because, I give people their flowers. Well, we got Miss Ebony J coming up. She's backstage right now. And we're going to talk about the I Am Queen Awards. I love what she's doing. It's growing every single year. I just take so much energy. Like when I see other people creating, I get energy from it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, okay. Not ideas, but just the energy. You know what I'm saying? And she's definitely somebody who I take a lot of energy from. But let's bring her straight to the stage here. Hey, good morning, Ebony. What's going on?
Good morning, King. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Thank you for making some time for it with us this morning.
Look, I'm so glad that I was able to. It's been so crazy the last couple of days. I've been having chest pains and headaches. So I had to go to the ER and just been back and forth to the doctor trying to figure out what's going on. But I think it's nothing but the devil trying to stop me from getting the message out. So I missed everything, but I'm so glad you were able to still get me on today. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Better than I deserve, actually. but I'm gonna take it anyway. You already know. So the I Am Queen Awards are coming up. Tell us everything. When is it? How can people tap in?
I'm super excited, Nathan. It's this weekend on Sunday. So you get to actually tune in and watch us honor and celebrate queens right here in the Queen City that's making a difference. And we do this every single year, but this year is different because we're going to have Miss Wendy Cross, the judge, as our keynote speaker. And I'm super excited because, I like to bring queens to the platform so that way we can see how relatable they are, how different they are, how really the same that they are to us as women. Just want to show her being authentic, and she's very transparent. So it's going to be a very great speech from her. We're going to have our girls joining us back, Sacred 33. They're a little young women's group, and the girls have grown, and so they're growing with the Queen Awards. Is so excited to have them back. We're also going to have our Queen Cipher, where we're going to have some local female rappers from the community come in and represent for the women. And I love it because they get a chance to be creative and again just show who they are, show their talents. The Queen Awards really was created to celebrate queens right here in the Queen City. I feel like no matter what city you in, no matter where you are at in the USA, you should know where to come to get a queen if you're looking for the queens. And so I created the awards so that way we can really honor these women while they're here. Like you said, give them their roses while they're here. Don't wait till they die to tell them how great they were and how they have influenced and helped. It's very hard being a woman, and it's very hard being a queen itself. All the hats that we wear and how we balance these hats that we wear. And oftentimes we feel like we're doing too much. We feel unappreciated. We also get discouraged. And so knowing that is the reason why I created the I Am Queen Awards, because I want people to be able to nominate someone to let them know, hey, Queen, I see you. Hey, Queen, keep going. Hey, Queen, you motivate me. And every year is so different because I leave it to the community to vote. And so the first time we started the Queen Awards, I came up with a different definition of, the Queen of Hearts, the Queen of Space, the Queen of Clubs. Every queen has a different meaning and a definition of what they do. So your Queen of Hearts, she just has a great heart in the community. She loves to give. She understands the needs for stuff. So she's always about that life to help make sure that the queens get what they need. We also have our Queen of Diamonds, who's like your diamond in the rough. She's been through it, but she does not let that stop her. She has used her platform to motivate and inspire other people to be their authentic selves. I love you too, Miss Tracy. That's my old teacher over there. Okay, so a lot of this I learned from her. Hey, Miss Pam. But also the Queen of Spades is the Queen of Spades. They are all around. No matter what they touch, they kill it. They're bomb. They're good. They're great. And so we like to honor them. And then the Queen of Clubs is the person that's always in the know. So no matter what's going on with the world, she always knows what's going on. She always knows how to help, and she's always about connecting people to be able to really reach their goals. So those are our main queen categories. As the year has grown, every year we've added different categories with our sponsors, which I would like to go ahead and give a shout out to our presenting sponsors, the Black Women Health Movement. They are so built on, or so they really are about making sure queens live a healthy life. So they have different pillars where they like to focus on the things that women do. So whether that's entrepreneurship, whether that's your physical health, your mental health, that's what the Black Women's Health Movement is all about. And it was so funny when I first came to her with the idea for the Queen Awards. She straight asked me like, well, what does the Queen Awards mean? What does Queen stand for? And as she broke down the different pillars of the Black Women's Health Movement, we broke down the different pillars of what the Queen means, and we both kind of fell in line. And so I'm so glad to have her back as our presenting sponsor. She's also sponsoring with the Closing the Health Gap So we're so glad to have them back joining us. This year we have some supporting sponsors, which I'm super excited. Roadshow Awards and Graphics, with Iris Rowley and Jesse Rowley. They're sponsoring our awards that we're going to be giving to the ladies. We also have Queen packages for the ladies where they get some nice Queen swag. So I'm super excited about that. They're also going to be honoring our living legend because we have queens that have really paved the way so we can be who we are today. And so we like to honor them with a platform. And they were a sponsor that came on. And so this award has been around for 3 years now. Super excited about that. We had our Perseverance Award where we'll be honoring a queen who has persevered through different triumphs. And that award is sponsored by Don Community School. We're also going to be honoring our Queen of Queen, which I'm super excited because we have the Urban League joining us this year as a sponsor. And they're going to be helping us honor a very special queen in the community who's always making a difference, Miss Alicia Reese, our Hamilton County Commissioner. We're also going to be honoring our Rising Queen. I cannot leave that one out because these queens are, they're always shining no matter their age. And so last year is where we added our Easily Blessed Foundation award where we're honoring a rising queen, and so a young queen will be honored this year for her great service to the community. And I love that award because hey, we got to let these babies know we see them too, and we want them to keep going and that they're doing the right thing. That's what it's truly all about. I cannot leave out Prestige because they are helping us give away our I Am Queen scholarship. This is our fourth scholarship that will be giving out $1,000 to a young girl. And again, we believe that education is important. So we just want to help make sure our babies be able to get to school, get their education. And we can't give a lot right now, but as the years are growing, we're able to give more. It started off as a $500 book scholarship and it's now $1,000. So I'm super excited again just to have them and just to have all our sponsors who definitely support the mission and the vision. And anytime I call them, they're always there to support, especially for the Queen Awards. I tell everybody it's not my awards. I'm just listening to God's direction to get it done. But this is your awards. This is the awards for the Queen City. And I'm just here doing the work to make sure that we can, make sure that we highlight these women. She said Alicia for governor. Okay, turn up. She definitely need to go for higher, huh? How can we donate to the scholarship? You can log on to the IamQueenAwards.com. We have a donation button there. We decided to still leave it free, even though it's going to be virtual, but we are asking for donations so that way we can continue our mission and vision. There's so many other events that we want to do next year besides the I Am Queen Awards. We want to do a conference. We've had Queens ask for a summit, and we want to do like a retreat where Queens can go and relax. So, our different donations will be able to help us continue that, and we also sell merchandise. So, Black Friday is coming up. You'll be able to go on the website and shop and get you some things. That's going to be for the Lolo because of course, it's Black Friday sales. So, all of those ways that you can donate.
That sounds great. I see a lot of people or some people are asking about donating and a donation link. If you send me a link after the show or even during the show, then I'll put it in the chat
Okay.
for
Yes,
sure.
I want to make sure because we
But
appreciate all donations.
oh, absolutely. So this is the fourth year, is that correct?
No, it's the fifth year,
It's the
Nathan.
fifth
Can you
year.
believe it?
No, I thought it was the fourth year. So it's the fifth year. So that just makes the question. I definitely want to know this. So, and I asked you this last year, and I always ask you this, but this is a brand that you created. How has it evolved? How has it evolved? And can you talk about what it's like to create a brand and sustain a brand and promote a brand for my entrepreneurial spirit people out there?
Building a brand is not an easy thing, okay? Let's be clear. It was definitely for me, I had to embrace who I was. And me, since people have known me, they always have known that I address you as the king and queen. And so it was so funny. I hired a marketing team who told me, like, you need to really focus in on what this queen thing means. And they was kept asking me, like, well, what does it mean to you? And I explained, growing up, how dad and mom always said I was a queen and I couldn't do what other people were doing, and how it stressed me out growing up, because it was like, I want to be like everybody else, and y'all telling me I'm a queen. Forget this. I don't want to be a queen. That's how stressful it was for me. But creating a brand, to show that it's okay to shine bright. It's nothing wrong with it. For a long time, I felt like it was. I felt like people were putting me on this pedestal that I could never live up to. That it was not fair for me to live up to it, that I didn't choose to live up to it, and it's not right. Just like on Lion King, he didn't want to be king, right? But it was his birthright. And so, building this brand for me, I feel like it has evolved because we started off with the I Am Queen program in the schools. That was our starting point. And me going to speak about being a queen. But now we have a workbook, we have an affirmation book. We also have a program that can go into the schools for high school and for junior high, where we're teaching the young girls how to be a queen, what it means to be a queen. How does a queen dress? How does a queen speak? How does a queen eat? How does a queen act? How does a queen deal with conflict? These are things that women struggle with, and sometimes we just don't know. And so for me, it was all about getting that information out there, because someone was courageous enough, or someone took the time out to give me the information to tell me, Queen, you don't dress like that, you don't wear your nails that way, you don't fix your hair like that. They helped. And so I wanted to create a program that could help other people. And so that's really what this whole brand is all about. Now queens, now it's so funny, because I wake up in the morning and I don't say good morning, kings and queens, because I'm not a morning person. So I kind of, I'm waking up early at 5 and I don't get up and make that post, right? But I wake up and see it on my timeline. Other people are addressing other people as kings and queens. So the brand is definitely growing, because I see more people rocking our queen apparel. I see more kings rocking it. It just shows how time, brands take time to build. People are looking forward to the Queen Awards every year, which was so funny to me. People were calling me about the awards this year. So I wasn't gonna do it because I had so much going on. And people were like, what's going on? Can we nominate? Can we donate? Are you still doing a scholarship? Or can we still vote for somebody? And I'm like, oh wow, yes. Oh yeah, we're doing this. So I think for anyone that's building a brand, don't give up. They may not jump on right now, but the consistency is what's going to make them jump in. And you got to believe your brand. I'll tell a woman any day, you are a queen, and you are. You got to know what kind of queen you are, though, and what level of queendom you're in, because it's always room for growth. But you got to be honest with yourself so you can know what you need to do to get to that next level. And always knowing, too, that just being a queen is not just wearing this crown, but it's a real work that queens got to do, period.
Yeah, I wondered about that. Like for you personally, like here you are the founder of the I Am Queens Awards and you're promoting a certain standard. And I wonder what does that mean for you in terms of how you carry yourself around the city? Does it add to that, like, I gotta always make sure I'm on point kind of feeling?
Yes. Like they really look forward to it. And it's so funny because people can always tell when I'm not feeling myself, because I won't address you that way. So if you don't hear me say, hey, King, or how you doing, Queen, I've noticed a couple people will come and just like give me a hug and say, "Hey, how you doing? You all right?" Because they noticed like you didn't greet me as a queen. So I know something is going on because this brand isn't authentic. But people are looking forward to, "Hey, Queen, hey, King," like they're laughing about it before I walk in the room. Like they know that that's what's coming up, and it's so funny because even when I talk to kids, I'm not a king. What's that mean? I'm not a queen. Don't call me that. And I have to tell them, you have to believe it is what you are. And do I always like being it? No. I want to ride around with my friends sometimes doing bad stuff. I want to dress however I want to dress or go wherever I want to go. But it's about making sure that I represent who I am. And I know that people are watching. So they are looking for the queen to make mistakes. So the queen does have to keep it together. And me knowing that is so very important because my voice is so recognizable. I'll cuss you out in a minute if you take me there, and I'll be ready to throw my crown, right? But I've learned that you got to watch this mouth, because I've been in a grocery store or been somewhere and I say one thing and all eyes are on me because they recognize the voice. So they may not know what I look like, but they know what I sound like. And as that, it's like the queen can't be using all kind of foul language, right? The queen can't be going off and acting a fool. So it's just always, I always have to charge myself to, watch my surroundings, carry myself in the best light. When I'm not feeling well, on days like yesterday, just stay home. Because if I come on your live and I'm not feeling well, you're going to notice the energy. You're going to notice something is off about the queen. And that's the sad part that I don't like about it, because I can't really fake it that well when I'm not myself, because people already know what the brand already speaks for itself. So they're already expecting a certain energy, a certain smile. Like they expect me to be positive. They expect if they ask a question, I'm going to help them. I'm going to take the time out. Like that's just who I am. And that's the brand itself. But when I have days when I don't feel like that, you will not hear from me. You won't see me post. You won't see me out, because I've learned it's as my responsibility as queen not to move. Because if I go out and be and I'm not me, they're gonna notice. And it may turn out worse than it need to be. Somebody say the queen was mean to him. And I didn't even say anything. I just, kept moving because I wasn't in the mood. And so a lot of queens feelings have gotten hurt because I wasn't in the mood. And it's like, oh, I wasn't trying to be funny. I was off. I was trying to eat food up in there on my own, but somebody wanted to come talk and felt like it was okay. So, I've always had to adapt to that, but I feel like you just kind of learn that it's your responsibility.
Right, most deaf. That's the word, responsibility. Like when you step out there and start putting out that positive image, you got to step up into it. You know what I'm saying? You got to
Yeah,
be that for sure, because people gonna be looking at you.
all the
So
time.
the event, and again, I've said this to you before. I say it to you again. I think it's just so smart that you're leveraging your personality while you're still working in corporate media and then creating your own thing. I mean, it is so smart, and I should have done that myself. So and I've said this to you before. I say it again. I just love what you're doing. I wish you nothing but success in all of your endeavors. Um, but so with the virtual this weekend, what can people expect? Is some of it live and then some of it is pre-recorded?
No, it's actually all pre-recorded.
Oh, okay.
We post it for them so they can watch it live. So I've been telling everybody, if you haven't already, go and like the I Am Queen Awards Facebook page. Everybody asking how they can help, what they can do. Tell people about our page. Get people to like our page. Because the funny thing about this awards is you probably did inbox me the link to join the stream, but my Miss Ebony J. Wynn Facebook was hacked. So this year, my biggest concern is, will we be able to reach enough people like we did the year before? The year before, we were able to reach over 80,000, and the video itself, while we were on live, we reached over 6,000 in one night. And
Wow.
I was looking and expecting for the same numbers. However, I know the algorithm for Facebook already. And so we're going to have a lot of work to do if we don't have a lot of likes on this page, because people have to know that the awards come on. And when the awards is happening, all you have to do is kind of, if you're on the page, if you've already liked the page, you're going to get a notification. Hey, we're live right now, versus having to go find it. Because when I say we're going to start at 8, it's no CP time over here. We will start on time with our opening act, Natural Onyx, who will set the mood for the night. So you want to not miss the opening act. That's the biggest part of the show every year. They set the mood and get you ready for everything you can expect the whole entire show. And if you watch BET Awards and all these other award shows, you know the Queen Awards, we do it the same way. And we'd have the same energy. So please go and like the page, I Am Queen Awards. We're actually on Instagram too. You can follow us. However, the show will broadcast at 8 p.m. from the I Am Queen Awards page. Right now we're at I believe 268. It could have changed overnight with more people liking it. I'm trying to get us at least at four to 500, so that way we know that we will be able to reach the masses. However, I've just been telling people, as soon as you see it live on the Facebook, please hit the share button. Please hit the share button. That's the only way we're gonna beat this algorithm for Facebook and be able to get a big amount of people to be able to see the show. But you know how Facebook algorithms are. You got to be engaged. You got to make sure you have a lot of followers, or they don't even share your page posts to the masses. So I tell everybody, as soon as you jump on, check in, let us know you there, say something, drop a heart, drop a crown, show some kind of spirit, and then make sure you share. So that's the blessing, is that I understand media enough to give you directions so that this can still go as smoothly as we need it to go. You got to comment, you got to share. Those things beat the algorithms that put it up in front so that other people are able to see it. Every time you come on the Nathan Ivey Show, tell him good morning, because that is the algorithm working for him that moves him to the top. Then you start to share, that moves him even more to the top. But when you just do one part, it kind of makes a difference, right? So I tell people, like, share, comment. If you get into the habit of doing that, you beat the algorithm, and that helps whoever's live you're watching. It helps them move to the top and stay to the top. So no matter who's jumping on Facebook, that would be the first thing they see, and that's what we want. We want this to be like the regular awards for the community. Everybody, last year people had watch parties. Go ahead and get your watch party ready, because it's going down at 8 p.m. this Sunday. We will be celebrating Queens right here from the Queen City.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, Miss Ebony J, thank you so much for your time. And if you remember, send me the link. I'll be on till about 9:30 this morning,
Okay.
where people can donate, and I'll make sure I put it in the chat, and hopefully people can support you. So, and I'll be sharing it as well on Sunday. So I wish you
Thank you
nothing
so
but the
much,
best.
Nathan.
Oh, you
I
already know.
appreciate it. I wanted to show some love to some of the nominees real quick before we get off here,
Sure.
just in case somebody is listening. And we may be honoring a queen that you didn't even know. And so I wanted to name drop for them. Miss Patricia Lee is going to be honored from Mobile Ministries. Tina Marie Payne, she owns her own scrub line. We have Dominique Coleman, who does manicures and pedicures. We have Candace Jones, who's over making a change. Cincy, she does phlebotomy and helping classes with that. We have Aziza Nubia, who's behind Natural Woman magazine, being honored. We have Michaela Joyner, who's behind Coiled in Confidence. She just wrote a book and just helping women break through the different barriers that they've been in. We have Tiffany Ware, who's behind the Black Girl Project, and she also has a beauty line as well. And an accessory line. We have Shauna Green, who's around behind Sisters Making a Change, which is an organization. It's a group home. Sisters have come together to create a group home for young boys. And then Letitia Owens, who's behind Guiding Light Mentoring. Of course, Judge Wendy Cross is going to be speaking. We're going to be honoring our living legend, Miss Cheryl Dunn, who's done so much in the CPS school systems and opened up so many different pipelines. You all are going to learn about her. And if you haven't heard about Miss Imani Easley, she is the daughter of Mr. Stephen Easley. We're going to be honoring her for her business. She opened a snow cone business last year, and it was booming this summer. She was out in the community. So we'll be honoring her, and we'll be awarding Simone Michelle Jones from Hughes Center with our I Am Queen scholarship. So yes, tune in this Sunday, 8 p.m. You don't want to miss it at all.
All right, Miss Ebony J, we'll definitely be tapping in, and have a great rest of your day.
You too. Thank you so much, Nathan.
Almost deaf. You already know. That's little sis right there, doing her thing, leading the way. Little sis be teaching the older siblings sometimes. But as I said, I'm real big on telling people exactly how I feel, and I'm very happy for her, and I hope it just explodes. I can just see the future. I'm a very optimistic person, and she's someone who, as I said before, I take a lot of energy from. Like, yeah, I love what she's doing, and I remember when she first started. You know what I'm saying? I remember when it was just a program. I believe we talked about it. And now she just, with her entrepreneurial spirit, just thinking what's the next step, thinking bigger. I think it's a great idea. And again, I'll share it when you see it on Sunday. If you're inclined to do so, just tap into it and share it. Simple as that. Before we go any further on the show, I want to say good morning to you. Hope you had an excellent week. I'm sending you nothing but peace and blessings, and hopefully you're gonna have a powerful day. Hold on one second here. Oh, you already know. You know, no problems. You already know. As long as I got any kind of platform, anything, it'll always be a place where people that are doing good work in the city of Cincinnati can come and get before our audience. And especially if it's one of us, you already know. No words needed. Um, but I want to get in a word from our sponsors before we go too deep into the show this morning. All right. And of course, so we've been working with these folks and promoting what they're doing. The folks over at the Ohio State of Emergency, they want to share a word with you. Check this out, and I'll be back with you on the other side.
Can't sleep.
It's hard to pay attention in school.
I say mean things.
I keep getting in trouble.
I bully other kids.
I'm just scared.
No one sees my pain.
Sometimes I want to die.
So many of our children are facing trauma, but instead of seeing their pain and fear, we're labeling them bad, troubled, delinquent, or criminal. Let's look beyond their behaviors. Let's get them the help they need by helping them address the trauma they're facing.
Help me feel safe.
See me for more than my behaviors.
Understand that my actions are how I communicate my fears.
For more information, visit www.ohiostateofemergency.com. That's ohiostateofemergency.com.
Ohio State of Emergency.com. And the folks over at Ohio State of Emergency.com, I believe, are doing some critical work, something that might be worthy of your time as it relates to how we process and deal with trauma, right? How we deal with trauma, how we process it, and what we can do legislatively. Now, they're already working here in the state of Ohio, but to my understanding, they've also branched out to the state of California as well. Like I said, I am no expert. I wouldn't even believe, even front like I know I can explain everything. I cannot. But what I will say is that what I understand, how I understand it, I think it could be critical. I think it could be critical work. Critical work. So just tap into it. If you got some time today or over the weekend, just go to their website, ohiostateofemergency.com, and just tap into it, read for yourself, and decide for yourself. You know, it could be something that you want to support. You know, it could be something that you like, oh, I think this is right on time. Or you might think it's not for you. Okay. I'm not going to tell you what to think. You're very smart, intelligent people. You think for yourselves. But go check it out for yourself and do whatever comes next, whatever comes naturally for you. All right. And those spots are in part sponsored by our friends over at Renew Community Church. They will 100% support what the people over at the Ohio State of Emergency are trying to do. Speaking of which, they also have a weekly series. It's a live stream series that you could tap into every Sunday starting at 11:45 a.m. You can watch on Facebook or YouTube. I'll tell you where in just a second. This week's title for conversation is How to Keep from Losing Your Mind. Learn how to focus and be happy. If you want to tap in on Facebook, you can do so at Cincy Renew. That's CINCI Renew. Or if you prefer to tap in on YouTube, just go to Renew Community Church live stream and check it out for yourself. How to keep from losing your mind. Learn how to focus and be happy. That's this Sunday. Might be right for you. Might be right for you. Good morning to you. All right. Yeah, I just think very highly about what she's doing and just promoting other people. I think it's, it's positive, you know what I'm saying, on a lot of different levels. So why not? Why not? There's my number if you want to give us a call, 513-873-7134. As I said this morning, we are living in the last days of common sense. The last days, which I think precede the biblical last days. We done lost our damn mind. We don't have all the details as to what happened with young Dolph, but just from where we are right now, just kind of looking at it, it seems to be, another life that was lost that probably didn't have to. These brothers acting like young Dolph was the enemy. Now, I don't have all the details, so I can't speak in detail about the beefs, what might have been going on. I can't give you all of that. I don't know. But I'm just saying in general, these kind of incidences are happening all over the country. I'll say it again. I thought, and I'm not prepared to play it for you because of copyright issues, I won't play it. But I thought that Charlemagne the God had great commentary, great flows about this on yesterday's Donkey of the Day. I thought he was 100% spot on with his flows, which was very similar to what we talked about, as well. Envy, jealousy, greed, ego. A man's ego can create the most awesome things, but it can create the most destructive things as well. A man's ego. Has there ever been a more sensitive thing created than a man's ego? Telling you, a man's ego can create the most awesome things this world has ever seen. And I do mean a man's ego. A man's ego can be ground zero for some of the most destructive, some people might say senseless acts of violence that have ever been committed. I don't know how to answer that. I don't know which has caused more human misery and pain and suffering. Greed, ego, envy, jealousy. I don't know. I don't know. But for what I'm reading about this brother, man, I never was tapped into young Dolph like that. His first name is Adolf, so that's where the Dolph comes from. I never was tapped into him like that, but kind of reminds me of Nipsey. Nipsey Hussle was cut down and shot in his own hometown as well. And I mean, there's 1,000 reasons why, and they're all the same. We know that. It's a damn shame right there. It really is. Good morning to you. Anime Savage writes, H Bill 227 and H Bill 99, though, man, hell yeah. Yeah, we discussed that yesterday. One of those Ohio bills would remove the requirement from citizens to get to do any type of training before they get a concealed and carry permit. So the way they want it to work is that just like you can own a weapon right now and put it on a holster, and you don't have to tell anybody, you don't have to call anybody. You can go buy a weapon today in Ohio, get yourself one of those little shoulder holsters, or not shoulder holsters, but a waist holster. And you can put your gun there and walk around in the streets of Ohio, and you seemingly should have no problems. Seemingly. We already know. There was a white dude about 4 years ago that caused a little bit of ruckus because he was walking around the University of Cincinnati with all kind of weapons on him. He had a shotgun, he had an AR-15 around his back, a shotgun around the front, and a weapon he had a sidearm on his waist as well. And UC police stopped him and talked to him and let him go because it's legal. And I got a chance to interview him. He was exercising his Second Amendment rights. Well, the good old boys, they want to do the same thing in the state of Ohio, and it probably will pass. If it gets past the Senate and goes before Mike DeWine, who has no spine, he's going to cave in like a lawn chair and do whatever the strongest prevailing winds are going to tell him to do. So get ready for that. Do you think that'll make Ohio less or more safe? You think that's going to stop burglaries? No. Is it going to stop carjackings? No. The other House bill, and I can't remember which is which, but the other one will lessen the requirement for teachers that want to conceal and carry in schools. Right now, they can do that, but they got to reach a high standard, 700 and maybe 48 hours of peace officer training. 748 hours, that's a long time. You can take you a long time and put in 700 hours. But there are some people in their infinite wisdom in the Ohio legislature, they want to reduce that to 20 hours. So that'll be the threshold if this passes. You don't have to do 748 hours. You just got to do 20 hours. And as I shared with you early in the week, I don't trust them. I have run into too many teachers in CPS that are emotionally not all together. They're not well adjusted. I don't know what's going on with them. I wouldn't trust them to pass out grilled cheese sandwiches, let alone give these people weapons. I wouldn't do it, but I'm not in charge of that. But what's up, Anime? Thank you for sharing that and reminding us. Glenn writes, good luck, Ebony J. I mean, she put the work into it. She's more than luck. Chance favors the prepared mind. So from what I'm seeing, she's building and evolving every single year. I think it's a great thing. Jerica's in the house. She writes, hola, beautiful black people, and the others too. Good morning to you. Ashley writes, good morning, Nathan and the Choppers. Good morning to you, Ashley. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, you can see some knickknacks over there. I'm okay with it. Daryl writes, it's about to be a lot more trauma happening with this dumbass concealed and carry weapon without a damn permit. Bill, we living in the last days. We are living in the last days. We are. I don't trust human beings. I don't trust Ohioans. I don't trust the Karens and the Darrens. I don't trust anybody. I just don't trust us. We're just not trustworthy. But this is what happens when one party takes over the state government. And right now, the Republicans are doing it. What I want to see is if the Democrats are going to be able to replicate their success in the city of Cincinnati throughout Hamilton County, then into the state of Ohio. That's what we want to see. Not because I think the Democrats are some kind of superheroes. I just want to see more competition of ideas. And the one party rule in Ohio from the state side is not good. It's not working, in my opinion. Yo writes, good morning, everyone. Kevin writes, good morning to the Mighty Choppers. If you know about finances, do your kids and other kids in the neighborhood get the bag. Then teach somebody how to get that bag. We can all get that bag. We want to get the bag, huh? Answer writes, what does that specifically mean? What does that mean specifically? She says, specifically, what does that mean? Right, what does that mean? Nikki writes, good morning, everyone. Brandy writes, good morning. Deshauna writes, sources said young Dolph was about to help someone on his music and it never happened, but who knows? I never believe websites. Yeah, I heard that young Dolph was in Memphis because he was getting ready for another turkey Thanksgiving giveaway. And apparently he had been doing that for, some time there. I saw some pictures of his family. He's got a couple of kids and a woman, wife, baby mama, somebody that cares about him he left behind. It's sad, man. It's very sad. Daryl writes, this bill tells me they're preparing for something like maybe a civil war. Maurice writes, I think it was one of those two things about young Dolph, a blood sacrifice or the people trying to get something started. They did it in California and Chicago. Wait a minute. You said a blood sacrifice. You mean like on some ritual type ish? You think it's either that or the police are involved? Huh. Well, Maurice, is this just your personal feeling or do you have some kind of information? Because I would love to see any of that. I haven't seen anything, not to say I would see everything, but I haven't seen anything that would suggest that either one of those two are likely a blood sacrifice. What the fuck is it? What? Or the police out here killing young Dolph? Oh, man. I mean, I'm not in a place to say that anything is impossible because anything is possible, but damn. We keep seeing brothers getting killed by other brothers, man, getting caught up with that ego. Telling you, a man's ego is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And it's also a terrible thing at the same time. It's a terrible thing. Man, you show me a woman that is smart, strong, and intelligent and in control of her emotions, she could take on the world. You show me a man that is smart, strong, and intelligent and can control his ego, he could take over the world. That's our biggest problem. In some cases, that's our biggest asset as a man. And in some cases, for some men, it's your biggest damn problem, your damn ego. And by ego, I mean getting caught up with what another man is doing, right? Getting caught up with the temporary feeling of, what was they going to rob? Then they didn't rob him. So it seemed like it was a straight hit. And then you show up to do a hit in a white Mercedes. Yeah, that's not going to stand out. Two black guys driving around in a white Mercedes in Memphis. That's not going to stand out at all. Yeah, you'll blend right in. You'll blend right in. The police, there was a quote from a police officer down in Memphis, and he said, "Oh, this is senseless. These senseless killings." I don't know if senseless is the right word. I think the right word that people are trying to use to convey is that it didn't have to happen, right? But I'm sure there's some sense to it. I mean, there's a reason behind it, unless he was like an innocent bystander. They really weren't trying to get him. They were shooting at something else. Um, Iona writes, what's up, Fred? Iona writes, good morning, Nathan and the Choppers. Good morning to you. Brent writes, open carry has been on the books in Texas for quite a while now. Now there are no licensing requirements and no background check. If you buy the gun from a private owner or one of the 3 gun shows they have weekly in the area. 3 gun shows a week, huh? Anthony writes, if won't change anything, but the government should not be profiting off of charging a fee for you to exercise your Second Amendment right. Oh, that's an interesting look at it. So you think the government shouldn't be, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. See, my problem with it is I don't trust Americans. I don't trust Americans with guns. Some of us should never have a gun in our hands because it's just going to be all bad everything. So the government has an interest, even if that means that it puts a filter on your Second Amendment right? We need a filter on the Second Amendment because everybody shouldn't have access to it because we can't trust everybody. But that's an interesting way of looking at it. Jared writes, hopefully individual districts will choose to implement policies that at least require more training if teachers want to carry a firearm. Right. That's all you can hope for. Good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Welcome to the weekend, baby. That's right.
Get to the chopper!
That's some fun this weekend. Honestly, honestly, it makes sense. I agree with both bills. I was just in the process of getting a CCW. Now I'm going to wait till the 30th. The law don't do nothing but let you conceal. We already was open carry. I mean, listen, if we're going to go that route, that means everybody got to be legally strapped up. That's what it means. Because you never know, you want to meet somebody's energy in aggression. You never know what you might run into. And I think when you got more guns out there, it just opens the door for something crazy to happen. But I appreciate your honesty. Yo Gotti had guards around his restaurant. There's something going on. I did hear that. I did read that. TC writes, I would voucher for Chicago. There are more unsolved killings up there. And no, it's not black on black in some cases. My in-laws is from there, and it's deeper than what we know. Is that right? Dale writes, did anyone see Versus last night? Now, y'all might be trying to take my black card, but I didn't watch Versus last night. I did. Did you watch Versus last night? You? No, you didn't watch it either. It was Shaka Khan and who was it now? And Stephanie Mills. I'm hearing that Shaka Khan was drunk and that she couldn't perform. Is that true? I didn't get a chance to watch it. Okay. But speaking of Angela, but we aren't drug dealers or pimps, so maybe we should have changed the connotation of getting the bag to something more positive. The word has been adopted by our youth, so maybe we should change the definition of the word rather than trying to change their lexicon. The cussing pastor had a show about this. Is that right? He's hilarious. Anime Savage writes, and if you couldn't get a gun, but now you still can't get, you just got a better chance to cover your butt with the element of surprise. Because I feel like Deacon should be strapped. Hell, everybody should have one. Okay. Adele writes, I have been reading that Dolphin been shot at many times just like this. They succeeded, so this is nothing more than a murder, no blood sacrifice. Who the hell is asking for blood sacrifices? What the hell were we doing? TC writes, I didn't, but they saying Shaka was a mess. Yeah, the wifey just told me that she read that she was drunk or something. You know, people be having anxieties. Versus is a big thing right now. I mean, Versus could lead to millions of dollars of sales for you. You put yourself out there, you really put yourself out there in front of culture, people start to remember you again. Like, oh, Shaka Khan. It can lead to a whole new everything for you. So I don't know. Maybe Shaka Khan was drunk. I don't know. Rolando writes, good morning, Rolando. Good morning. Bring back the Wild West. Maurice writes, Nate, I used to be a Freemason. Keep your eyes open and see what entertainment skyrockets. Is that right? Used to be a Freemason? Dare writes, she sounded off of it, but Stephanie covered for her, did she? Didn't Shaka have a cocaine issue back in the day? I heard she was Keith Sweat's drunk at the Verses. Shaking my head. Keith Sweat drunk? Is that what we doing now? Y'all wrong for that, man. Y'all wrong for that. Now, I think I want to do this earlier, actually. Let's do this earlier because I invited Brother Nadir on the show. And we had originally set it up for him to come on about 9. We might have got our wires crossed there a little bit. If it's on me, it's on me. But we got the brother backstage. So rather than have him waiting, why not just go to him early? And that'll give us enough time to really get all our questions in. And then I can get back to my regular schedule at about 9, maybe 9:15. But I definitely want to talk with this brother. And are you ready? You ready to go, brother? Give me a thumbs up. Can you hear me? I don't know if he can hear me or not. He's not giving me the thumbs up. Hold on, let me flash him on the screen real quick. What's up, brother Nadir? Can you hear me? Okay, I can't hear you, brother. Something's up with his microphone. So we'll try to work that out. If push come to shove, man, I'll just give you the number. You can always just call straight in. But I do love that Zoom element. That's the number right there. You want to give us a call. Before we go anywhere else, though, we got John from Princeton, New Jersey on the line. Hey, good morning, John, and welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Nathan Ivey and the good people of Cincinnati, as well as the good people around the world. And yes, those choppers. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you. Welcome.
I wasn't going to call in, but I was listening to your program as you were talking about the concealed weapons permits and listening to your diatoms. It's funny. Sometimes I wonder, is this America or is this a third world country? Why is it that in the southern states, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, and all those southern white cracker states, they can get weapons and it's okay. White boys, okay, they get their guns branded all over the place. But the northern states and the Midwest, I guess it's state by state. Like, I'll give you an example, New York and New Jersey. I think it's a bill in front of the State House in New York to adopt concealed weapons. I don't think it's going to go through. Those northern governors and politicians are doing everything they could do to make sure people in the north do not carry weapons. So you can carry it, but it better be locked up in a box and it better not have the bullets in it. So, when I say this country's, I feel like we're living in a third world country. This is America. The law should be adopted across the country, straight across the country. I'm in Florida. Yes, I got my concealed weapon. I couldn't wait for the first time I got to a southern state where I can get me a weapon. Because down here in Florida, it's like the Wild Wild West. You can't turn on the news without seeing somebody shooting, killing. I mean, I see why these southern states, police can't be every place. So let people adopt their First Amendment rights. Concealed carry, but if the cops pull over and you don't got that weapon on you or your license or permit, oh yeah, they can lock you up and throw the key away. So my question to you, as you were talking about the concealed weapons, and I agree with all your statements that you made, state by state. My question to you is state by state. Why is it the northern states have one rule, the southern states got another rule, and the Midwest are so on and so on? Have you put your finger on that?
Yeah, I mean, we know that individual states on some issues can determine their own policy, right? And then what you would have to look at the states that have legislatures and governors that are Republican. And I'll bet you that those are the states that are more likely to have these open carry, open conceal with no permit laws in place. That's probably what it is.
Well, I agree with that assessment, and as you noticed, as we saw what happened on January the 6th, and then the governor in Michigan, that governor, she allowed those cretins to come inside the state house, and these guys are high-fiving the state police there in Michigan. And let's go back. That was a test run to see what they were going to do on January the 6th. And if anybody want to call in and challenge me on that, then they're smoking something that I don't know about. So I think, and I applaud you, Mr. Nathan Ivey, by pushing. I've listened to you pushing for African Americans to get into the game, get your concealed weapon, take trainings. Yes, I do that in Florida. First time I picked up that gun, I went into a shooting range and I took my private lessons. I take it up every now and then, but I think African Americans should carry. You got to understand the laws too, as you just stated. It's state by state. So, but all of this is all about, and let's be honest about this. When these crackers sit up here and complain about their First Amendment, they want white people to carry guns. But do you think they want African Americans to carry guns? No, they don't want us packing it and carrying and arming. Just imagine if some of you baby boomers wasn't alive, but during that Million Man March, I was there right in the media in the front. Wow, you would never see a picture. I thought in my lifetime you would never see a picture like that. A sea full of black men in front of that Capitol. And those Capitol police, they were up there in line. You can pull up the YouTube videos and see how powerful that was. And Clinton was in office at the time. You'd imagine if we ran on the Capitol and did what these crackers did, they would have been gunning us down from the air, from the cap. We wouldn't have got inside there. But these cretins can carry guns, do whatever they want, and let's wait and see what happens. I know I'm jumping around, but when these two high-profile cases come up, this is going to be important to watch. Because if these white boys get off, they'll send a serious message across the country. Oh, white boys, you can pack and carry with your assault weapons and gun them down. Okay, yeah, you'll go to trial, but you're going to walk. So this sends a message, and to me, it's a pattern. Now, I don't know if these crackers are going to get off, but what I've seen over the years is a pattern.
You're in love with the C word today, I see.
Excuse me?
I said you're in love with the C word today, huh?
Well, that's what they are. As we, if you look at Lizzie Graham, I call him White Cracker Lizzie Graham. That's really what he is. But the pattern is these two high-profile cases, and they're all around the same thing. If these characters get off, they've sent a message that goes back to slavery, that you can gun a black man. Oh, sisters, don't think you're immune, that they won't gun you down too. We've seen that pattern. The sister that was in her house with her boyfriend, she's gunned down, minding her own business. If they get off, the pattern is set. Black people, you better arm yourself. And if you think it won't happen to you on the street, okay, you plant them the gun and see what happens. So, I applaud you, Nathan Ivey, for educating us on the firearms and trainings and taking people out to the shooting ranges, because some of us need to wake up and realize they want to turn the tables back on us. They want to take us back to slavery. That's really what they want. They want to arm themselves, and they don't want us to arm us. So you have to smell the roses and wake up, black people, and stop singing those Kumbaya, Lord, my songs, and wake up, because it can happen to you. I mean, this brother, Mulberry, that was jogging down the street, minding his own business. Okay, yeah, maybe he shouldn't have went in that house, but the house was wide open. He was just looking around. If you look at the video, he didn't take anything. And so these crackers decided they're going to follow him, arm themselves, and how stupid. And thank you for the dummy behind him in the pickup truck that was filming it, because if we didn't see that film, these guys would have definitely going to get off. But you don't know what's in the head of these juries. And sometimes you wonder what these juries are looking at. So everybody is stay tuned and see what happens. and see how it's going to play out. And one final thing before I let you go, Mr. Nathan Ivey. I'm sure you probably talked about that story about those two brothers that were locked up in jail for over 60 years, allegedly shot down Malcolm X. And now we're finding out they didn't even have nothing to do with that. Well, if you read the story of J. Edgar Hoover and his FBI thugs, that's another story at another day. But J. Edgar Hoover maybe not pulled the trigger, but he knew everything that was going on. His job was to get rid of Malcolm X and get rid of Dr. Martin Luther King, because these brothers were coming together. At one point, they were fighting among each other, Malcolm X and Dr. King, but they realized at some point we're better suited to come together and move our people forward. These things we should be looking up. So, to find these guys locked up, and one of them died, the other one is out, is getting ready to get out. And to hear his story is going to be incredible. 60-something years you're locked up and you didn't pull the trigger. Well, I blame that on I have to give it to the prosecutor up there in New York that apologized and admitted. I'm sure he's going to get a nice lawsuit over that. I'm sure when that spells out, wow, 60-something years locked up and you didn't pull the trigger. But I blame that on the feds, local police, the mayor, the governor. They all were in cahoots. These are patterns, as I stated, patterns that they get away with it. And I'll end with this. I blame us as a Black people that allows it to happen year after year after year. Now we see what condition we are. Let's see how these things play out. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day, John. I appreciate the phone call. Make sure John got it all in. Wanted to hear everything he had to say. It's been a minute since we talked to John. Appreciate it. See, we got Brother Nadir backstage again. We're going to try to hook this up for today for sure. Hopefully he can work out his audio issues at the very least, and we can get him on the phone. I'm down either way. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Mr. Ivey. It's Friday. I ain't got no job. Oh, that's right. I'm retired out here on the West Coast. What's up, Mr. Ivey?
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. Mr. Ivey, you are coast to coast. John calling from Florida, and now your boy, Drop Squad 52, calling from Cali with his weekly real clear politics average of polls of our 46th president, Mr. Joseph Biden. Now, real quick, Mr. Ivey, because I know you got guests waiting. Real quick. Job approval for President Biden, 41.3. That is down from last week. His approval on the economy, 37.2. That is down from last week. His approval on immigration, 28.9. That is down
What source?
From last week.
What source are you reading from?
I am reading from Real Clear Politics Average of Polls this morning.
Oh, okay.
And the latest poll, I told you yesterday, you had a Quinnipiac came out, and then today Fox News has their poll out.
Oh, Fox News.
So,
ooh.
No, not see, stop. See, there you
Fox
go.
News.
There you go. I only got two more. I got two more, and I'll be done. Okay? Like I just said, his approval on foreign policy is down to 36.5. His approval on COVID-19 crisis has been steady. It's at 47.3. And the last one, the American people feel that the country is headed in the wrong direction by a percentage of 63.1, and that is up. So again, Mr. Ivey, this is an average of all the polls, and polls come out every day, but it's not getting better for President Biden after him signing the infrastructure bill and almost leaving out his first Black female vice president. She was almost left out of the picture standing by his side. He didn't even give her the first pen that he used to sign the legislation. He gave it to Nancy Pelosi. But again, this is our president who is old, who is senile, who is cognitively challenged. No, he doesn't give it to her first.
Yeah, he does give it to her first. She's a Speaker of the House.
He-
She whipped the votes for it to get through the House of
Okay,
Representatives. It makes sense.
okay, Mr. Ivey, watch the film. Joe Biden, he didn't know what to do. This man has been in Washington his whole life. At a signing ceremony, you got the pens laid out because they're designated for certain people that are standing behind you.
We talking about pens?
Mr. Ivey, no. See, again, Mr. Ivey, all this stuff matters. The reason I bring this stuff up is because you constantly critique me of my lack of concern about the 45th president, the scary orange man, the first gangster president. So now I am being very critical.
I'm just saying that there's no balance with you. It's all negative. It's all pro. No matter what the Republicans do, you ready to throw a party for them. And no matter what the
I'm not
Democrats
talking about
do,
the Republicans.
you're ready to throw a funeral for them. So
the Republicans aren't president.
You're extremely biased. That's all.
The Republicans are in the minority, sir.
And
I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, if it wasn't for 13 Republicans in the House and 19 Republicans in the Senate, we wouldn't even have a signing ceremony for infrastructure.
Selective. You're very selective in the way you do things.
Okay.
But I get it, brother.
But isn't he my
a
president?
Republican Party company man. Period.
No, I am a United States America citizen,
now, brother. You've already
I
told
am
us
a
before
citizen of this country.
That no matter who the Republicans nominate for president, you're going to vote for them. You already told us that.
But I don't disappear when a Democrat is in charge of the White House,
question,
the two houses of Congress.
The question is,
yes, it is the question.
That's not the question to my brother. The question is, why are you so committed to be on the Republican Party plantation? That's the question.
Because I'm a rebel, Mr. Ivey. It's only about 10%, 10 to 15% of us over here. Okay? It's plenty of room on the coon train.
If you're a rebel,
it's starting.
Wait a minute.
It's right, because I don't follow the sheep. 80 to 90.
Being a rebel manifest itself inside the Republican Party? You don't ever challenge the Republican Party. You ain't no damn
challenge.
rebel.
I am a rebel. I challenge the Democrat Party because I've been holding them accountable.
Yes,
when
sir,
they're
but
in
you're
power
not a member of the Democrat Party. You are a member of the Republican Party. It's just like, almost like,
you're getting it twisted.
For a second. Let me just make this real quick example. It's almost like, let's say you back in college, you on a yard. You pledge alpha. You're an alpha. But all you do is talk about what the Kappas and the Qs is doing instead of working to make the alphas better. You, sir, are a Republican. But all you do is sit around and criticize what the Democrats are doing and not doing instead of working as a black Republican to make your party better for black people. That's what I don't hear.
Okay, Mr. Ivey, since you gave your little analogy about being on the yard, I'm going to give you an analogy.
Give me an analogy.
About Harriet Tubman, okay? When she was a rebel, when she escaped the plantation,
right?
Okay? She showed the way. She didn't leave her brothers and sisters behind. She left them messages. She left them trails. She left them a way out.
Are you comparing yourself to Harriet Tubman?
Oh, you liked that analogy, didn't you?
It's just a bad comparison.
Oh, yeah. No, you love it. She was a rebel.
I don't love it.
Was she or was she not a rebel?
Help my brother out? Are you in a place for me to help you out?
Oh, see, here we go.
I just want to help
Here you go with your patronizing. Your patronizing
first,
is sickening sometimes, sir.
I just want to help you.
But it's Friday.
Your
I'm here
analogy
for
doesn't
it.
really fit because
it's right on the money.
It's not on the money at all. It doesn't really fit you. It's a bad analogy because Harriet Tubman.
I didn't go to college either. So that your analogy didn't fit.
It's not about that. What it's about, brother, is Harriet Tubman, as I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're right. She worked to free slaves from the plantation, but she didn't run back to another plantation.
She left.
That's what you did.
She left a plantation.
You're sitting on the Republican plantation
for free,
talking about the black folks on the Democrat plantation.
No. See, again, sir, you are not correct.
When are you going to leave the Republican plantation, sir?
The Republican Party is not a plantation.
Oh, absolutely, it's a plantation.
No, it's not.
Yes, it
sir,
is.
It's a condominium complex.
No, it's a plantation. They only making you think it's a condominium complex, brother. It's a plantation. They got you plugged into the matrix. So you seeing things. They got you seeing what they want you to see. Yeah.
Bro, you can say whatever you want.
You're like the brother from the Matrix who was like, you know what? I want to be an actor, somebody important. Put me back to sleep. That's a better analogy. That's what you are.
Okay.
And I'm just saying, when are you going to get to working on your own part? That's where we need you, black man. We need you inside the Republican Party working to make the Republican Party more effective for black people. But you're not doing that because you on this yabba dabba do about weekly poll numbers when it comes to Biden. Brother, that's not what we need you to do.
Yes, I do. I need to because you're not doing it. You're not keeping your listeners abreast to the condition of the Democrat Party and the current administration. Because the polls is like you say, it is a snapshot of what's happening. And Joe Biden, ever since August, when we had that failed withdrawal from Afghanistan, which turned into an evacuation, ever since then, Mr. Ivey, every single one of his poll numbers, except for COVID, they have all consistently gone down since August. And now the Republican Party has a 10-point lead, first time in over 50 years, a 10-point lead in taking over both houses of Congress. So again, Mr. Ivey, it's Friday. We got a beautiful weekend ahead. Next weekend, we're going to have all the football and you're going to have all the discussions with your families and talking about Uncle Ray and Auntie Shay. But guess what? At that picnic, at that Thanksgiving gathering, you're going to also always have a family member like me, that family member. And I'm telling you, this year, that family member is going to be vocal because he's going to be walking around telling y'all, I told you that the Democrats don't give a damn about the black vote. Drop Squad 52, drop their science to any. Where you at, Donita? I ain't heard from Donita lately, Mr. Ivey. Why she ain't fact-checking me no more? Is she on my team now? Well, I hope I hear from you, Donita. I hope you and your family have a good Thanksgiving. But I need you to keep me in line so you can let everybody know how great your Democrats are doing. I'm out, people. Have a good weekend.
Appreciate the call. We'll go ahead and rack him just because he's one of us. We got to claim his ass. Dear Lord. I'm trying to talk sense to this black man, but he don't want to hear it. He is on his mission. Stay on your mission, brother. Stay on your mission. Do you. I love me some drop, though, but I'm just trying to steer. Okay, brother, I see you. We'll bring you on just a couple minutes. We got Brother Nadir in the back. I think he worked on his issues. Great, because I'm here for the conversation. Let's go back to the phones and say good morning. Good morning. Welcome.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, Nate. Kev on the cell.
What up, Kev on the cell?
Trying to make it, man. First off, again, let's get the bag. I mean that in the most positive way. We all need to work on making sure that we increase our familial wealth, generational wealth, and raise us from what seems to be the bottom throughout the diaspora to at least the middle, if not the top. But I gotta speak to my brother. I'm actually starting to appreciate Drop, man. I think that Drop is going to be the reason why, and people like him are going to be the reason why Democrats are actually going to get out and vote, because they're going to continue to do this whole thing about polls and polls and polls. And we all know that most of the poll workers that are Republican really are working the polls. You know what I mean? But and they're doing it in a very dishonest way. But it's good to have some fight, right, into how the Republicans are planning to steal back, and that's what they're gonna do. You know, they're gerrymandering everywhere, districts. I mean, I love it when the person that is trying to fight you stands and squares up his shoulders right in front of you and says, "Hey, look, I'm gonna hit you, so you better know that I'm gonna hit you." The other dude runs from behind and tries to hit you in the back of the head or something like that, and you don't see it coming. that's when you have problems. But when you can see it right in your face, Trump's telling you the truth. The polls are down. They're talking about a 10-point swing for the Republicans, and they're going to easily take back the House and the Senate. Well, they can only do that if people don't vote. They can only do that if people sit around and complain and they don't do nothing about it. That's the only way they can do it. You know what I'm saying? So we're getting told right now by the other man who claims to be a brother man. Now see how you let these people infiltrate. Go back to New Jack City. You know what I'm saying? We've been told right to our face, man, that they are planning on stealing back the White House, the Senate, and the House, if they can. We don't have to let that happen. And did you notice that the versus thing seems to have fallen off though since they sold it?
When you say falling off, like what do you mean?
Like people was like super excited because it's kind of like Drops claiming to be Harriet Tubman. You know, it was underground and it was provocative and, you know, kind of sexy. And now that it's kind of more of a mainstream thing, I hear people saying like the versus thing every once in a while, but it's not like that same fervor. Like you said, you know, I didn't get a chance to catch it.
It's not.
You know what I mean?
I think it's two things, though. I think anything new gets old after a while. That's number one. But number two, I think when it really popped off was at the height of, you know, COVID, and everybody was shut in and everybody was online and everybody was looking for things to do. And that's kind of tapered off a bit. You know, people aren't as like super on social media like they was a year ago. A year ago, everybody was on Facebook all the time, searching for content, searching for things to do. And then Versus was like, boom, right on time. You know what I'm saying? And people tapped into it. So I think it's some of that. And I think it's maybe the audience, you know, as well, is kind of like getting jaded, going back to what they want to do and other things. So I still think it's a great idea. And depending on who they put together, I think they should go into comedy and go into other genres of entertainment. And I think that'll pull more people into it.
That's a great idea right there. But I think too, though, the nuance of it was that it was kind of, you know, grassroots, ground level. You know what I'm saying? I want to take a moment too and shout out Dave Chappelle for doing what he did up, you know, up north. I guess it's north, up in Springfield. You know, we need more of that, where we kind of just say, and when I say we, you know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the African family throughout the diaspora. You know what I mean? We need more of that, where we take the spirit of entrepreneurship, the true spirit of entrepreneurship, and take our lemons and start making some lemonade and lemon pies. You know what I mean? There are plenty of opportunities that we, and when I say we, again, I'm not speaking generally. I am speaking very specifically about who we are. We need to take the opportunities that are out here, and there are many of them, to lift our family. And you know, it doesn't do anything to sit and complain. It does a lot better to actually move something. So, you know, shout out to David and shout out to anyone out here that's doing the exact same thing. And you know, I love my brother that's doing the renew community thing. Because I will say this: no matter what anybody says about Brother Charlie, he's on all black media all the time, and he's spending real dollars with real folks. You know what I mean? And that's something that you can't. There's a lot of people that get lip service to it. Folks like the esteemed brother that was recently on the phone, but to truly be out here and be that real Harriet Tubman that's going back and bringing our folks out of poverty and out of a bad place. That's amazing. So kudos to him, Iris Rowley, Landis Powell, and even yourself, Brother Nate. Keep rocking, man. I'm loving it. I'll keep watching.
Most definitely. That's Kev on the cell. Appreciate you, brother. That's Kev on the cell. Appreciate him. We'll go ahead and rack him. Good morning to you. So he mentioned our friends over at Renew Community Church, which just gives me another opportunity to remind you that they've got a live stream series that you can tap into on Sundays at 11:45 a.m. This week, the topic is how to keep from losing your mind. Learn how to focus and be happy. You can tap in on Facebook at Cincy Renew, CINCI Renew. Or you can tap in on YouTube at Renew Community Church live stream. Check them out. Check them out. All right, let's try to get Brother Nadir back on. Brother Nadir, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you well. Can you hear me?
Hey, what's up, man?
Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
I'm glad we got together, bro.
Yeah, a little technical difficulty, but it's all a part of growing and being patient and learning. So I first want to say praise be to God, the creator of our minds, our hearts, and our souls, who has blessed us with everything we need. And I'm truly, truly honored to be connected with you, Nathan, in this opportunity, in this moment. So I'm always proud of you. And as I've been in the motherland, and I'm on Facebook, and I kind of watch our people in the city and around the world. I was jumping for joy for you, and I seen you receive your reward. I guess a couple of weeks ago. I know we go all the way back. From back in the days of WAIF and the Friars Club and UC. So it's just good. And when I look at the Cincinnatians, especially specifically melanated Cincinnatians, and I'll be like, man, we're great and powerful people. I don't think sometimes we understand that. And I definitely want to give a quick shout out to Sister Ebony for what she's doing. I have some items that I'll be selling that I brought from Ghana, but I'm gonna donate something towards her movement and her mission and her bless. It's bigger than an event. It's a celebration of the Queens, and this is a very special day for me as well, Nathan, from the standpoint of this is my mother's Earth Day. So I returned back to the Natty and surprised my mother. And my sister's birthday is tomorrow, my sister Keita. So I surprised them both. They didn't know I was returning. You know what I mean? So back in the Natty for until the beginning of December, and here to come to share my journey, Wimpy's journey, the Ghana mission. Continue to share with the people the beauty of going to the motherland. And I say we must come home. We must go home. We must put our boots on the ground, put our stilettos on the ground in the motherland. There are some great opportunities for us there. So.
Well, again, man, I appreciate the kind words on the recognition for the NAACP. And I appreciate you sharing your journey, man. We talked before when you were actually in Ghana, but I didn't know you were going to spend that much time there. So you're saying you're going back in December. What's your overall plan? Are you moving there, or is that going to be like a place where that's going to be a new home base of operations for you?
Well, let me say it this way. So I always will give homage to Dr. Eric Abercrombie, because that's where everything started. And that's kind of, I think, around the time we actually met. I played 2 years of college basketball, 1 year at NKU and 1 year at Seminole Community College. And I was actually 4 classes away from being Bob Huggins' first point guard. However, the most I had something bigger for me. So what happens is, I played with everybody in Devereaux's league and out at Xavier. I was playing with Xavier guys in middle school. So, I have some, that a level of a pro, if you will. But however, when I came home in 1989, I lived on Burnett Avenue. And those who know me, I live between Erkenberger and Forest, right across the street from the original J&W, facing Northern. So I was, Wimpy Woods in the fire. But, my mom raised me in such a way that, I love sports. I love, arts, music, drums, trombone, all of those kinds of things. So when I came home in 89, crack had hit the hood and the country, and I wasn't on those things. So I went to UC part-time till I graduated, and I started studying African history as like an elective. And Dr. Abercrombie's The Black Man. I got knowledge of self, Nathan. When I began to get knowledge of self, and it was clear to see the beauty of where we came from, I always wanted to go. So in 2018, I wrote in my journal, I'm gonna get my passport and I'm gonna go to Africa, and specifically Ghana, because there's an Elder Nana Nasi from Evanston, who I've been spending time with for the last 6 years, and so he was talking about he started going back. He started in 2000, taking containers over in 2000, but then he had stayed there for 7 years. Then he came back. He had older parents, and then when his parents transitioned, he said he was going to go back. So me and him had planned in 2019 to go in 2020. So bought my ticket. And, I had two important moments that I was planning for. My daughter Ayo Nadir, I thank the Creator for being blessed with a beautiful, intelligent, wise queen child. She graduated from Tuskegee in 2020. So I was planning to go to her graduation, and then 2 weeks later, and at the time I was working at St. Joseph's Catholic School downtown in the West End. So as soon as the school year was going to be over, that next week I was, taking my ticket and going to Ghana. However, COVID came. So when COVID came, it pushed everything back. And I had already planned in 2017, Nathan, put some money up to say in 2022, in 5 years, I'm gonna live in Africa. So what happens is with the COVID and that whole piece, I lost my aunt, which was my mother's best friend, Patricia Swanson. I lost my dad, Willie Woods, during that space. So when I seen Ghana was opening up, I said, look, I'm gone. I want to celebrate my birthday. I want to get away from the cold, and I ain't coming back. So I rebooked my ticket, was blessed to be on Ethiopian Airlines. Mom dropped me off November the 8th at CVG. Got 2 suitcases, book bag, another bag, for the computer. And I wasn't returning. My mind was made up. So I got to Ghana, and what I have received, the blessings I have received, the blessings of the universe and the prayers of our ancestors returning home is amazing. So I had intentions. It was purposeful that I was going and I wasn't returning, as this being a place where I would live. So as I said to you in the original interview, you was like, would you ever live in America? I won't. My goal and my intentions is to forever live abroad, forever live in the motherland, definitely outside of the U.S. So as of now, Ghana is the base. I'm looking to visit other parts of the continent, and for sure. But that's how it happened. And I'll say to you, within my 3rd day, the Creator showed me my destiny and the reason I was supposed to return home, go through the door of which they claim no return, and I'm there.
That's super interesting, man. Speaking with Brother Nadir, and he's talking about his travels to Ghana. So how long were you in Ghana?
I was in Ghana officially 1 year and 5 days. I returned back on the 14th. I flew out on the 14th, so I got on the 15th. Yeah. So I've been living in Ghana for a year.
So tell us this, brother. So you just got back after being in Ghana for over a year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you feel differently? Is there a different feeling now being back in America as opposed to when you were in Ghana? And what is that feeling?
Excuse me. Yes, it's definitely. I feel different. Just being honest, from a visual standpoint, I don't see a lot of Europeans in Ghana. So coming back, that was one of the first things. Like I'm seeing more white people. Another thing was my vibrations is at a whole another level, Nathan. Like vibrations is at the sun with the celestial bodies. So my mindset, my energy, my spirit, is at a whole different place. And so this is not necessarily a new place for me, but it was like going to the motherland helped me shape and confirm and brand who I am, who I've been, who is Ishaq Imad Adin Nadir, aka Wimpy Woods, and now I'm called Coach One in Ghana. So the things I always done in the city, I'm doing in the motherland. It's not, I'm not really no different, but I've grown. I've grown in terms of really tapping into understanding spiritually how to manifest, spiritually how to understand that we are created, us, that melanated people. We have 12 stems just connected to our spine. We're the only ones created like that. So we're created in a very unique way, in a very special way. But we don't understand melanin other than the basic skin level. But melanin is deep. And I say to our people, go study melanin. It's deep. We are special created people. And those who've redirected us away from our greatness, they understand that. And so, yes, I'm different. I'm still me, but I'm different. I view and I look at things more deeper, very simplified. My life is simple. I love the basic things, and I've always had, but now I ain't, when you're over in the motherland, ain't nobody tripping on stuff. They appreciate every little trinket, every little small situation. So, yeah, I'm different. I'm just looking at, and my visionary spirit is grown. So just looking at opportunities where we can realize the greatness of who we are. And hey, my brother, I ain't tripping on stuff and sweating drama and craziness. Man, please. Like since I've been here, I watched the news a couple of times. I don't watch TV. So I don't own a TV. I didn't own a TV when I lived in Cincinnati. So I don't even watch TV over there. I get up, Nathan, according to my spirit, connect, with the energy, meditation, prayer, affirmations. And I move according to how the creator downloads and connect with the people. I'm in the village. I'm with the people. I'm not, Taj Mahal Hotel and just stopping back. I'm in Avondale. I'm in Evanston. I'm in Wynn Terrace. You know what I mean? I'm in Canterbury Gardens. I'm in the neighborhood with the people. And they love me and I love them. You know what I mean? And so what we need to understand is who we are is naturally connected to the motherland. But going there is like a replug, bro. Like you replugging, re-energizing. It just, like I'm hooping outside again. Like, I got somebody here in Cincinnati. I'll say this real quick that I'm out to give it to him before I leave. And I'm going to say his name, Mike Peak. But
still serving guys out there, man.
I'm serving, teaching. So, I train kids there. So what happens is on my birthday. So my birthday was the 12th of November. And that was the third day I was there. So I was on my way to pay homage to the ancestors. So where I live is called the Central Region. So I live in between Cape Coast and Elmina. So those two environments are very critical environments in terms of our historical journey for those of us who were placed on the slave ships and brought to the, to the Caribbeans and to the States. So I live in that area, which is a very respected tourism environment. So in that area, I'm on my way to Cape Coast Slave Dungeon. Now they call it a castle, but it ain't no castle for us. There wasn't no castle for what our ancestors experienced. It was the dungeon. It was the most horrendous human situation that can happen. You know what I'm saying? So I go to the slave dungeon with a brother I'm friends with from Texas. But headed there, Nathan, in a taxi, I see a basketball court for the first time. And this basketball court, I had never seen the basketball court there. So when I seen that basketball court, bro, and it was like 100 kids on the court, like 50 on one end, 50 on the other. They all had on the same color t-shirts. I jump out the taxi. You know my energy. You know what I'm saying? I jump out the taxi, bro. I ran the half court. I said, throw me the ball. Somebody threw me the ball. I put on the ball handling show. And so the kids started cheering. So I did this for about 3 minutes. So here comes this European young lady, about 5'11", built, athlete. She said, excuse me, so she was there with our organization doing a basketball camp. But she was like, would you like to play me on one-on-one before you leave? I said, okay. So she said, we'll go to 3. So you know me. And when I train children, and I tell everybody this, when I cross that line, when I cross inside that box, when I cross inside that ring, inside that lab, that scientific lab, Wimpy Woods, I put the Wimpy Woods cap on. and it's serious. It don't matter who it is. Like I tell them, if I'm playing my mama one-on-one at the moment, she ain't my mama. So, and it wasn't even the issue about her being white. I don't care if Iverson, Jordan, whoever would have came in that moment, bro, I was going to give it to him. And so what happens is she took the ball out, she missed, I missed, I got the ball back, I scored. And then here's was the critical piece, Nathan. I'm dribbling on my left, top of the key. Strong young lady, boom, put the hand check on me. I'm talking about the hand check, like that one hand check, like that Friars Club hand check. You know what I mean? So, bro, I ain't push her hand away. I whooped her forearm. But it came as a sign, and I didn't realize the sign until later. When I whooped that forearm, Nathan, and I was on my way to the slave dungeon. So I was just returning some of the energy that our ancestors received. So ended up beating her 3-0, went to this cameraman, and I said, I'm Coach Nigeria from America here in Ghana. I'm a developed basketball player here in Ghana. I'm from A1. I'm always rep where, that cultivated me. And people need to understand Avondale is actually shaped like Africa. So all these things that's happening ain't by accident. That, I call myself one of the original A1 babies, born on burning. I'm a third generation. I'm a second generation. My mom was Little Abraham, which is my grandfather, Bishop Abraham Isaac Jacob Swanson the 12th, had a home in Avondale on J Street, right across the street from basketball court, interestingly enough. Then, my mother, Rafaela Swanson, raised me, born on Rockdale, lived on Ridgeway in 2 houses. Then, we lived on Vernon, from like, I would think 10 years old until I, went to college. So A1, that's where I'm from. So I said that. So the next day, a brother that's a rapper in Cape Coast that I have a relationship with, he came over. He said, Coach, the kids are talking about this American coach who was at the court. A1, Coach A1, or Coach One. So my name now is Coach One. I introduced myself all in Africa, all in Ghana as Coach One. So I was named that by the kids. So, that was the beginning of the experience and the beginning of the message that you're destined to be here. And so from that point, Nathan, the next week I went and played at the court and then started training, young men there for like 6 weeks. Like when I first went to that court that Saturday morning, I had 24 kids waiting on me. So I've been training in Accra. I've been in Port City, Takoradi training. I've been moving around the country already training. And so that's, that we can go to what this shirt I have on. It's called Manifest 21. So right at the new year, I started hashtagging Manifest. And right at the beginning of Ramadan, the first day of Ramadan, the creator said Manifest 21. And Manifest 21 basically it started out as a focus just on shoes. And what it is I'm going to donate 2,021 pairs of shoes in Ghana. But actually it's going to probably end up being more. But that was the focus, Manifest 21. But the other part about Manifest is just that we have the ability to manifest anything of good, and of bad too, but anything of good if we just put our mind to it. Like for me, writing in my journal that I'm going to the motherland and get my ticket, it's in us. We can manifest. So, this Manifest 21 is really about having us to understand who we are, the greatness of who we are. And the greatness is not about being bold, being rude and disrespectful, but it's a greatness of strength, a greatness of confidence, a greatness of love, a greatness of, being humble, a greatness of being forgiving and, asking for forgiveness and being apologetic when necessary. But understand who we are. We some great people. We some beautiful people. And so this is the whole mission of Wimpy's Journey, the Ghana mission, Manifest 21. And so while I'm here, Nathan, on November the 28th, and I think I sent it to you, but I'll send it to you again. It's called Black is Royal, the Melanin Market Celebration. And so I put out a post a couple months ago if I would happen to be able to come home, who would celebrate with me. So I'm asking our people on the November 28th, that's the same day we play Bengals play Pittsburgh. Regardless of whatever the results will be, come and celebrate with Wimpy. Come and celebrate with Nadir. Come and celebrate with Coach One at El Mari's place, which used to be the Lions Den. It's now a nice, place of connecting for different events. So we have an event there from 4 to 9. We'll have vendors, and this being that time of the year, come and spend our money with our people. Some beautiful vendors will be there. We have some food catered by Miss Wallace, Miss Carolyn Wallace, one of the coldest caterers in the world. And so to tell you about how things have changed for me, or not necessarily changed, but evolved, this vision came to me, Nathan, while I was over there, about if I could come home, what can I create? And I was blessed to be able to put it together. And I want to thank Faith Hill, who does event planning, who helped, set this up for me. And, and then I'm going to put it out publicly. I'm looking for a DJ. I don't have a DJ yet, but it will come. But, I have some vendors already set up. I'm going to have food, music. The other thing I like to do, Nathan, is, I like to tear up the dance floor. So I'm going to tear the dance floor up on November 28th for sure.
Let me speak with Brother Nadir about his travels in Ghana. Let me get some questions in from the audience. Deborah wants to know, have you learned any of the language? How do you live there? Savings, work?
Okay. Yes, I know a little bit of the language, and the language, and I say to our people, learning the native tongue is an obligation. But what's interesting, even over there, they push the kids to speak English almost as more as they push them to speak the native language, and that's come from the colonial influence, which is very deep. And what I say to our people, learning about colonialism versus what we went through. Colonialism on some levels is actually worse than the enslavement process that we experienced. It's deep. But yes, I've learned some of the language, like Fishia Pa means Happy New Year. Apome is like, how's your day? At the same, it's like, how's your day going? So I know some of the language. Now, one key word I know, Nathan, that's been critical in my success in Ghana. And it's how you say the word for no, and it's dabby. So if you say dabby dabby, they hear you say dabby dabby, you might not know nothing else. But if you say dabby dabby, bro, they be like, oh, he knows some of the words. So yes, like give you an example. When I'm traveling from like the central region to the capital, which is like a 3.5 hour, sometimes 4-5 hour trip, depending on traffic. When they hear English, Ghanaians, especially in business, they figure Americans are rich. And so they trying to take advantage of it. They got hustle game in them, you know what I mean? And so, but hey, we from the urban community. So when you're from an urban community, you're really capable of dealing in any environment, from the highest leaders to the common human being. So, growing up on Burnet, growing up at Avondale, Evanston, Walnut Hills, all those places, I've learned, certain things. And I'm a people's person. So, and I'm serious about my money. Like, so if you owe me 50 cents, I need to get that. So like sometimes when I'm traveling, the guys try to take advantage of me, but I call it, the transportation is called a trotro. And they try these, what I call trotro tricks. Take more than what they're supposed to. Like, nah. So I'll be like, dabby, dabby. You know me as an advocate, you know me. I don't play. So, if I was willing to stand up on the table in City Hall during the time of the murder of Timothy Thomas to calm the people down, I ain't afraid to speak out. So I check these people, and so they respect you when they hear that. Like the people are like, wow, he knows some of the words. So yes, I'm learning the language. I'm gonna learn more as time goes on. Now savings. Now for me, and I say this to the people, I didn't go to Ghana with a whole lot of money, Nathan. What I did was I began, and I did it, in a purposeful way, but didn't even know. Before I left, I started looking at how I was saving money, and I was saving a lot of money. I was living below my means. And so what I was doing, I was putting up my referee money, basketball reffing, basketball training, girls lacrosse ref. I also certified as a girls lacrosse ref. So I was just putting that money up, Nathan. And so I put that money up, and that's really all I took going forward. I had some money I had put up in the bank, but I say to you, I took less than $6,000. So I took that over, and then I started looking at the opportunities. I started looking at how I could live, and it don't take much for me to be happy in terms of living. So it didn't take no whole lot. And then what happens is I was blessed to get an apartment. I told you this before on the show, but I tell the people again. I have a 1-bedroom apartment. The whole apartment is tile. My apartment is bigger than my apartment I had here in America. And they normally do 6 months, a year, or 2-year lease. I got a 2-year lease, and I paid $49 a month for 2 years. So, and I'll say to the people listening, if you got $800 to $1,200, you want to buy some land, come over, and I'll show you where you can buy land between $800 and $1,200 in the motherland. And so it's not very difficult to live there. You can live according to your means. You want to live Indian Hill style housing, that you can get that. You want to just live, modestly, you can get that. So it's out there, very broad scope of living. You can get the high end, or you can get, what fit in your budget. But the beauty of it is going there, putting the boots on the ground and feeling that energy, and then that vitamin D, bro, from that sun every day. Like plug you in. And people have been telling me, like, your skin look different. I'm like, yeah, I'm under the sun every day, at the sun, and eating natural pineapples, coconuts, real bananas. Bananas are small, not these bananas we got over here. The bananas really are the size of plantain. So yeah, it's very livable. It's very
what part of Ghana were you in?
I'm in a central region, so Ghana is broken up by regions. So I'm in a central region, like normally people would say Cape Coast or Elmina. So I'm in that area, and so I'm on a 2-lane road. Like this, it's a 2-lane road, Nathan. Like like if you went to Central State, they had like 2-lane road. So it's a 2-lane road that goes from the capital all the way to the port city in the west of Takoradi. Going west into like Cote d'Ivoire. So that I live there.
I'm looking at a map right now, so I'm trying to nail down
Elmina.
exactly.
Yeah, so I'm like in Elmina, or the little community that Elmina is like, or the community is called Bruni Bima. And Bruni mean white. So I believe at one time the colonizers lived around the area, which is not far. I'm 15 minutes from the beach. I can walk to the beach. I can jog to the beach in maybe 20 minutes. But I'm at both slave dungeons. So both historical slave dungeons, I'm in that area, like close.
So is that, you said 15 minutes away from the Gulf of
So I
Guinea?
give you, here's the best way to explain it to you from Cincinnati. If you're standing at the statue in Avondale, say that's Cape Coast, okay? Elmina would be probably about where Woodward is, that distance. So that distance on the straight line up railroad, or that distance. So Cape Coast at the statue in Avondale, Elmina at Woodward.
I see. So that's right there. That's the Atlantic Ocean right there?
Just Atlantic Ocean. So I'm right at the Atlantic Ocean. And I'm around there a lot. I've been to both slave dungeons like 6 times, like 3 times each. Somebody asked me to join them, go in there and learn and understand how strong our people are. Like, we don't really realize the people that were able to create us, Nathan, from going through the most horrendous, experience of life to create us. We got to understand who we are. Killing each other, we tripping. We some great people. We shouldn't be killing each other. No, we should be loving each other.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's interesting. So I'm looking at the map right now. I might flash it up there so people can follow along.
Yeah.
I want to be able to look at the map and see where you are. You said Cape Coast. That's
Coast.
Right there.
Yeah, right there.
That's
bro.
interesting.
Yeah, and the basketball court.
Somebody wants to know, as a Black American, how did they receive you? How are you treated there?
Okay, great question. So some people use that term over there, Black American. I say I ain't no Black American. I'm African. So let me stop right there to make this quote. It's important. The most celebrated, the most important president in Ghana's history and in the history of our people is Dr. Assaji-Fu Kwame Nkrumah. And he's the one who did everything for Ghana to get independence. And, Dr. Nkrumah is actually, he studied in America. He was influenced by a lot of our greats over here in America, W.E.B. Du Bois, Malcolm, a lot. He was influenced by that because he got educated here. So one of his most important quotes, and we should always remember this, he says, "I am not African because I was born in Africa, but because Africa was born in me." So that's my mentality. I mean, that was my mentality before I ever even knew this quote. I said, I'm African. So I don't care nothing about being born in America. I'm African. So when they call me Black American, I say I'm African. Don't call me Black American. I'm African. And so sometimes they do that. Sometimes you can get them calling you a Bruni or white, because then they base that on hearing you speak English. right? But just tell them I'm African. But then there's some that know and understand the history. It's a lot that don't, because this is done systematically on purpose. And that's what we need to understand. When we keep talking about the Africans don't like us and we don't like Africans, we need to dispel that bull crap. When we don't like each other, it's because we don't know each other. And what you got to understand, when you go over there and see the educational process that it was colonized by the British, and the British influenced the educational process, of course, they want the motherland to be a place where we don't go. Because if we went home, bro, what I'm saying to you, if we went home, we have a whole environment that we can build from the ground up. So when we talk about gentrifying a place, how Avondale's and all these places being gentrified, and I'll say this, only reason certain our neighborhoods are being gentrified because we didn't understand the value of property, and we understand the true value of community. That's the only reason they was able to come in and do what they do. However, and part of it is colonizers' trickery, but in the motherland, we literally can go home and develop everything we want. And when I say everything. So if it's somebody that's listening to this, there's some nurses that want to go and some doctors that want to build a clinic. I could take them to 2 villages that I have relationships with. Chiefs have already told me. The people come over here, I'm gonna give them the land to open up a school. I'm gonna give them the land, open up a clinic. Right now, Nathan, I have land already identified where I'm gonna be able to build an indoor athletic facility where the college basketball players and high school basketball players, they play outside. It's a couple of gyms, and I'm talking about a whole country, but we can build a whole community, bro. And I'm talking about economically, cheap. We can spend less money to build it. It'll be solid. It'll be ours, and ain't nobody playing games like redlining. Like I was listening to the redline that's been going on in Cincinnati, and we always be trying to talk about, is Cincinnati still segregated and racist? It ain't never changed, and it ain't gonna never change. You know what I mean? But this is a place where I can go home and ain't nobody, and I mean, don't nobody bother you, bro. The police don't bother you. You know, if you ain't doing nothing, they ain't gonna bother you. They mind their own business for the most part. I mean, so yes, they learn. We learning each other. We got to get to know each other. So the kind of spirit I got, I'm known even in the capital, Nate, because of the kind of guy I am. I talk to everybody. So I mean, you just interact. You break down them chains, them walls that they have created. We interact. Yeah, some stuff is just they don't know no better. They figure you speak English, you white. I mean, if you ain't speaking the native tongue, what else are you? So these are the things that they have been influenced by. But overall, no, I got love. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. My friend, a Muslim friend of mine, he just had a child. Now he my brother. He had a lot of influence in making sure everything was good for me. As a matter of fact, before I got my apartment, I stayed at his house. They fed me every day like my mama had him. All right, like me and him come from the same mother. Fed me every day, no questions, no arguments. So in this village, the village I started in is called Ayin Sudu, which is interesting symbolically. Avondale A, Ayin Sudu A. So in this village, I stayed at a guest house owned by one of our elders from Philadelphia, Sister Ajua, Schoenfield. Like, so Ajua and her husband, they built this guest house, but the husband had passed some years ago, Brother Kofi. So I stayed at her guest house in the village. And so basically, imagine a guest house in Avondale. So you stand at a guest house, you visit it. So then I move around the community, get to connect with the people. So I started going to schools and giving out socks and stuff like that and those kinds of things. Well, I had a container. I brought a 40-foot container over. So as soon as I'm about to bring the container over, my friend, his uncle is the chief in the village. So he tells the uncle, Coach is about to bring a container. Right at that moment, it's like 11 o'clock at night. We sitting under the lights with some of the men commune. And he said, I'm going to make you a chief. So I'm saying, Unc, I'm cool. I don't need to be no chief. I'm a common guy, just like moving like I move. So when I brought the container over, Nathan, I was able to sit it on the campus of an Islamic school there, because I have a relationship with the headmaster, which is a principal. So set it there, open up the container. A lot of the students helped me move my personal stuff out to put in my apartment. Then I had the stuff that I want to thank all the citizens of Cincinnati, friend from Louisville, Lynetta Shipley, and a beautiful sister.
We still got you, brother? I think we having some issues with Brother Nadir. Let's give it a second. Okay, looks like he's having some issues with his connection. That happens sometimes. Let's see. Let's give it a moment or two and see if it catches up and refreshes itself. And if not, what we would do, Brother Nadir, because you're completely frozen on my screen. What I would ask you to do is to unplug and plug back in again. Lots of questions coming in, so I want to make sure that people get their questions in. Yeah, Brother Nadir, something's happened with his connection. It happens. We've been here before. We already know. If we're able to, so he just unplugged. If he comes back in and we're able to continue the conversation, then we will. Yeah, people saying they're appreciating the conversation. You know, anybody that's Cincinnati based, you know what I'm saying? You already know around the globe, whatever they doing, we want to celebrate, promote, and learn from their experiences. Okay, I think the brother is back now.
Yeah, I'm back. So what I was saying was, so my contender. So what I did, I was taking. Let me go back to that. I want to thank Joanna Milton from Philadelphia. So I had a friend from Philadelphia who brought things for the container. Lynetta Shipley from Louisville brought things. Thank them. Sister from Atlanta brought things. Thank the sister. You know what I mean? So what happens is, and all the citizens of Cincinnati who donated towards Libby's journey to Ghana mission. So when I get there, you know, open up the container, Nathan, start separating the clothes and things of that nature. The creator was like, tell the women in the village to come. So they came to this area on a school campus in this, you know, this room, this building. And I started giving out things to the people in the village, you know. So as I was giving the items out to the people in the village, bro, from that point on, I went from coach that some people knew to everybody in the village knew who I was, right? And so with that, I became, you know, an important citizen in the community. And so now, like I said, when I walk around, you know, I'm walking around the village. Like if I took you with me and we walked around the village, you're going to hear Coach One, Coach One, Coach One, Coach One. And the day that I knew that this was deep was I was walking through the village, bro, and I heard this voice, Coach One, Coach One. I'm like, who is that? And it was like this little 3-year-old. So there's little 2-3-year-old kids who know who I am. And it's not about me. I ain't chasing no notoriety. It's about what I did, what I've been raised to do from watching my grandfather, Bishop Abraham Isaac Jacob Swanson XII, serve the people. And that was the spirit I was coming in. Be humble, learn the culture, and see the opportunities, and be who I am. Somebody who always serving the people. So it ain't no different, Nathan. I'm playing basketball. I'm giving assists. I'm just giving assists in a more broader way. So, I mean, hey man, you know, and from that, I'm respected in the community. As I was going to tell you, when my friend had his child, they had a naming ceremony. I'm at the naming ceremony, and he's Muslim. So the Muslim imam told the other Muslims who were there from different villages, when you see him talking about me, he's one of us. When I'm in the capital, I connect with people. They know me, Coach One. When I'm in a taxi, I'm telling them, my name, Coach One, what's your name? I'm getting to know them. So I'm breaking all those barriers. And then a young man told me probably in my about 4th month, he said, Coach, he said, you're doing something different than most Black Americans do. You are amongst us. You stay in the village. And so what I say to you, Nathan, and to the people, I'm going to start doing tours. And when I do my tour, and I've said this like on some of my lives, is Wimpy's Journey to Ghana Mission authentic. And the key is authentic. That you would get an authentic experience if you come on my tour. And then not my tour, it's our tour. You come home, come through, connect with me. I'm gonna give you an authentic experience in terms of going into the village, spending some time in the village, not just no pop throughs, pass throughs real quick. And in some instances, that's necessary too. So I'm not saying nothing against how people set up their situation, but and it's a blessing for anybody who's able to do a tour to bring our people over to see this beautiful life that where we come from. And I'm gonna definitely give a shout out to my sister in Zingelberg, you know, with Beach Birds Travels, who's doing tours. So, you know, I'm bigging her up. That's my sister. I love her. And so, yeah, you know what I mean? But like I said, some brothers came over, man. A childhood friend of mine for 45 years, Kelvin Hill. We've been friends since Douglas School. He came over. His first time he coming on. This is a guy who's well traveled, Nathan. He come over. He go on the Wimpy's Journey, the Ghana Mission, authentic. He's like, bro, I done traveled a lot of places, but what you having people experience is dynamic. So, you know, things are just happening. You know, my entrepreneur spirit is evolving, Nathan, and just looking. You know, I'm living, brother. Like somebody's like, you surviving. Like I don't survive. I'm living. Life is good. You know, you know, I actually ran 12 miles on the same Saturday that they had the flying pig, and I was like, wow, that's interesting. And I didn't even intend to run 12 miles, but I don't run the 12 miles. So,
more questions from the audience. Jerica wants to know, is it safe? And Charles wants to know, what is the food like there?
Okay, so is it safe? Totally safe. A woman can walk out in Ghana at 2 o'clock in the morning. Ain't nobody gonna bother. It's safe. Ain't nobody bothering nobody. People mind their own business. Now there's some situations where, you know, people there's always some crazy person in the midst, but overall, no, Ghana's a peaceful place. It's safe. It's cool. Like I'm gonna tell you, even this, like even the people that have like some mental health challenges, they don't even bother them, Nathan. I done seen people walk up and down the road butt naked. Ain't nobody saying nothing to them. Police ain't grabbing them up, snatching them up, throwing them around. That's where they are. That's where they are in their life. They let them be. The food is fabulous. You know what I mean? I was already eating, you know, cultural, more cultural ethnic food anyway. Even in Cincinnati, you know, I go to Tarangas. I eat Senegalese food. I eat Indian food. You know, I definitely was rocking with conscious kitchen, healthy stuff. You know what I mean? So that's just how I eat anyway. I haven't eaten meat, beef or pork since 1993, and I haven't eaten chicken over like 10 years. So. But the food, you know, the food is good. Like I said, the fruits themselves is a meal in itself, brother. I mean, get you a couple of coconut water with the coconut meat, and get you some pineapples, brother. Last you most of the day, brother. Then they got some peanuts. They call them ground nuts. Fabulous. You know, I mean, I eat them probably almost every day. So,
Tell them, man. People got a big misconception. You an athlete. So maybe they'll listen to you. People got a big misconception that you got to get protein from meat products and dairy products.
Brother.
That is not true.
We keep on the miseducation of the human being in the West. we better. It's time to wake up. Like, you know, like even the whole thing about like, you know, what we eat during, you know, what's coming up next week. Half of that's what's harming us. You know, all this sugar. All the food we eat during what they call Thanksgiving. How we giving thanks to our body when we putting all that craziness in our body? You know what I mean? It's time to wake up. Like it's time. We're in a great time. But if you ain't got the right mind, you ain't gonna see it. But we're in a great time. You know, all the people that started, you know, all these entrepreneurs then got to, you know, put themselves at another level since the so-called pandemic, you know what I mean, and whatnot. But it's a great time. It's where your mind is, and understand you're created great. Go study melanin. Go study pineal gland. Go understand it. You got 12 stems connected to your middle brain. We have the largest middle brain of any human being. Understand who you are. Quit. Like, you know, all this nonsense with Dolph and all that. It's craziness. Ain't nobody shoot nobody over there, Nathan, in the motherland. Man, nobody be bothering them. Only one you really see carrying guns when they got AKs is the police. And they don't even be really, you know, they ready for whatever, but they be peaceful and cool. So, hey, all I'm saying, I'm challenging our people. You got some money, you ain't got to have a ton of money. Invest your money in the motherland. I mean, it ain't no different than traveling to the other places we travel around the states and these other places we go. We go to Italy, we go to France, we go all those places where we go home. That's like illogical. Like I ain't gonna go home. I'm gonna go somewhere else. It don't make no sense. You know what I mean? But hey, I ain't getting in nobody's way, brother. I'm gonna keep on doing what I'm doing, keep on sharing the gifts, keep on learning. I'm humble, brother. I'm appreciative. You know what I mean? You know, and I came home, Nathan, because my mother turned 70 today. You know what I mean? My mother was 16 years old, married, and it took 36 hours for me to come to this life. You know, and on the 12th of November, and you know, look at the numbers, Nathan. 21 return, reverse 12. So And so she turned 17 7 days after me. So today is 7 days after my birthday, which was last Friday's. Mom turned 70 today, and then my sister Keita, she'll be another age tomorrow. So, man, I'm excited about being here. I tell you, and it's very exciting, and all I can see is more growth, more enterprising for the mission, for people. And I say to the people that's out there, I'm here to December the 6th. So if you want to invite me to your church, your synagogue, the round table, anywhere. I'm probably going to do a basketball training motivational thing before I leave. But I'm open. What I mean? I'm a kid came from inner city. I'm a kid who grew up with a mother who was a teen mother who was married, but ended up, my dad and mom ended up, this divorcing. But I'm a kid. I ain't come from no great situation. My mom didn't graduate from high school, but she made sure that her son graduated from college. What I mean? I worked. I started washing dishes at 7 years old, things like that. What I mean? So, and then, over there, they wash clothes by hand, Nathan. What I mean? So, somebody want to open up a laundromat, get up with me. I'll take you to the Ghana. You open up your laundromat. They don't use a lot of washing machines and stuff like that. But every kind of opportunity you're looking for is there, bro. I mean, every kind. I mean, it's wide open. It's a wide open environment for us. And we are the key to the motherland. The diasporans, specifically the African Americans or Black Americans, as we sometimes call, we are the key to the motherland. So, hey, people that got health issues, you come over there, you got natural, they got everything. Everything is grown, this medicine, and for our good. So bring your pension and get on out of there. If you got equity in your homes already, go on and pull your equity out and get on out of here. Get away from all this crazy. And come, and I ain't just saying necessarily go get away from the West in terms of just as a travel experience. We have to become more global. Y'all buying all these, material items for your kids. Get your child a passport. Get your passport. Go global. See other parts of the world. But definitely make the motherland, one of your life lists. I don't want to be in no bucket. I got a life list, not no bucket list. You know what I'm saying? Make that one of your life list steps. Put in the top 2. Get to the motherland. Senegal, Sierra Leone, Ethiopia, South Africa, Rwanda. Get to the motherland. But I tell you, Ghana's a good place to come. Very open.
What I think would be really interesting is I think what you're saying is good for any age, but I'm thinking about younger people, right? Before they even graduate high school, get the opportunity to travel to the continent. I think can give them a different perspective on the world.
Totally.
World.
Well, it's interesting. I'm glad you brought that forth. I'm actually meeting with somebody today or tomorrow and putting something together that way to bring some youth over. And I'm actually in the process of sending some youth from over here, from a basketball standpoint. But check this out, Nathan. About 3 months ago, a very special experience occurred in Ghana. And I'm going to say this. We have no excuse after I tell you what occurred to ever talk about we can't get there. I know you know Mother Fletcher and Uncle Red, who are 2 of the 3 surviving members of the Tulsa massacre. Mother Fletcher, she spoke at Congress. They both spoke at Congress about, the Black Wall Street and that whole massacre, right? She's 104. He's 100. About 3 months ago, they came to Ghana, bro. So you can't make no excuse about no age. They flew to Ghana. They was there for like 8 days. I was blessed to go to their naming ceremony. But definitely, that's what I'm saying. Get your child a passport. Have your child be global. Come and see kids who, don't have no rec centers, Nathan. Ain't no rec centers there. You come and see kids who taking baths outside. Some kids that don't even have bathtubs or don't even have a bathroom, brother. I see some kids, parents washing them up, got some water in a bucket and washing them right there. So our children have over here in the States got everything they need. A lot of them just too daggone spoiled, and the parents be micromanaging kids. Hey, my mama didn't micromanage me. Like, bro, this is what it is. And either do it or get knocked out. So
right.
My mama didn't play, bro.
So to get knocked out.
Hey, my mama, and I tell you, Ray Swanson in Avondale, they said my mama used to kick. She only 4'11", she got a reputation for knocking people out, bro, back in the day. Like, so she ain't play with me, like at me and my sister at all, brother. Like, nah, you gonna get to another step that I didn't get to, son. So I ain't playing. You know, that's why at 7 years old, she's like, bring that chair over here. We was living on Ridgeway. Bring that chair over here to the sink. Teach you how to wash dishes. So you ain't got to be dependent on nobody. So those things are big critical for who I am, brother. You know what I mean? So mine didn't play at all, brother.
I got another question that's off the path just a little bit. It's
Sure.
just something that's in my head because I've been reading a lot about the Chinese investment in Africa. Right. And I wanted to know, did you see any examples of that when you were in Ghana?
Oh man, you might want to sit down on this one, Nathan. In Ghana, brother, and I'm gonna explain, there's two parts to this. But in Ghana, it was my first month, man. I met a couple from Cleveland, and they wanted to go to a mall in Accra because we live in Century. So Accra is the capital area, you know. Bruh, they got a China mall in Ghana as big as the IKEA here. I walk in that store, I was in there 5 minutes. I said, man, I ain't gonna spend no money with no Chinese in the motherland. Nah, China, like I got almost sick. Spending money with some Chinese in the motherland? When the Chinese don't respect us to the point you can't even probably open up a business in America in Chinatown that's black owned. So China Mall, bro, they got a lot of investing going on over there. Now, there's two parts to that. On some levels, I don't blame the Chinese. Who opened up the door for them that had the opportunity? We did. It ain't no different than who opened up the door for many places at Avondale to have other people take over those environments. We did. Because we don't understand property. We don't understand the value of property. Even to the point, I used to make calls on Lincoln Ware and speak of these things, and Lincoln Ware say, I'm tripping, but okay. But so the land in Africa is normally controlled by families or the chiefs. So who are allowing them to come and go to and show them the places where gold and diamonds are, you know, being able to be mined? We can't blame them. The Chinese see the opportunity. If more of us take our butt home, then we could replace them. So that's what we got to evolve to. Yeah, they there, but if we don't go spend the money with them, then it don't exist. It's on us. It ain't. We can't keep on complaining about what other folk doing. If they see the opportunity, how can I be mad? You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, they there, bro. But you know, part of that is just because somebody opened up the door because they throwing them a bag. You know what I mean? Not understanding the higher principle. That's even like some of the European influence there through colonialism, bro. Like some of them, I asked me, like, do you have a white wife? I like, look, first of all, I ain't married, and I ain't marrying nothing white. I ain't nothing against white people, but no, I'm marrying somebody who look like who raised me. No, I ain't got no white wife. But they think that's the prize because that's how they've been colonized. You know what I mean? It's just how, you know, and the whole continent has been colonized and been separated by different European cultures. But yeah, they there, but they don't bother. Nobody don't bother. We can go establish a business right now, Nathan. I can get with you. We can go establish a business right now in Ghana and do our thing. You know what I mean? So we got to go home. If ain't nobody filling the void and somebody can bring the bag, they gonna take the bag. I mean, it's really simple logic, brother. Really, we just got to get our mind right and go home. And you ain't got necessarily to do what I did. Like, you know, I'm quite different. You know, but go visit. Like, spend some time there. Have an investment there. Build you a home there. You can build a home from the ground up. You know what I mean? And ready to retire or whatever, I'm gone to the motherland where it's hot. The majority of the time, you don't have no snow. You got what's called rainy season. It rain, but it's just rain. It ain't nothing major. You can go to the beach. You know what I mean? See the ocean, and if you go fish in the ocean and eat healthy food, and most of the clubs is free. Like, they got nightlife. This lit. You know, it's a great time. It's real progressive, and it's gonna keep growing. You know, but they need us there because some of the infrastructural things, some of the way things go on politically. If we were there, we can help. You know, evolve some things. But yeah. You know, so
just got a few more questions for you, brother. Sure. I really appreciate your experience, man. You know, we all getting something out of it. Shantae has a question, and then I have another question. She wants to know, did you have problems with the water shutting off or electric going out? I've heard that the water goes out a lot.
Well, the water goes out from time to time and the electric goes out from time to time, but I ain't see that as necessarily a problem. I put it to you this way. I would take the water and the power going out over, I'm driving down the street and I get pulled over because I'm black. I take those kind of them little small things. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. The more we come, the more we push who we are and help improve the infrastructure. Yeah, but yeah, go out. But then, you know, it just teach you about life, man, and about how, like, you know, they have a lot of like different water tanks like on their houses or in the backyard. So they preserve, there's ways they preserve water. So when those situations happen, you just, okay, I got an extra reserve, and you keep moving on with life. Yeah, the power go out from time to time, and those are some of the things that need to be addressed and will be addressed, especially as more of us, you know, begin going there and coming there. But, you know, those are some of the things that, like I say, they ain't cool, and like some of the trash that ain't cool. But, you know, these things, you know, these are minute compared to all the injustices we deal with in the West. You know what I mean? But yeah, I had, you know, I was standing at my brother's house one time, and the water went out. So we, you know, he has a well in his yard, but the water was out, so we had to go like 30 minutes fast. They call it fast water, bro. You take a bucket bath and go on with life, man. You know what I mean? Power go out, you know, you get you a generator. You know, there's always a way around it. You know what I mean? Just teach you about being more highly prepared. You know what I mean? So
what's that experience? What's well water like for folks who never had it before?
I mean, I don't drink the water, Nathan. I drink bottled water. But taking a bath, I use that water. But I don't drink the water. Now they got this water over there, right? It's in a little plastic bag. They sell it. And they call it pure water. So you'll see a lady with water on her head, probably weighing about 40 pounds, and she walking up and down the road all day, 10 to 11 hours. Pure water, pure water. I drank that a little bit one time, took a sip, like, nah, I ain't messing with that. So, you know, I drink the bottled water, you know what I mean? And that's another thing, man. You're talking about some strong people and some strong women. Bro, these sisters be having things on their head, 40, 50 pounds, bro, and they walking miles all day selling when they need to sell it, because it's hand to mouth. If you don't go get nothing to eat, you ain't gonna eat. You don't make the money, you don't eat. You know what I mean? So, you know that those are some of the realities. You know what I mean?
Well, you brought up the women. Let me take it there. You know, you're a single man. You know, I want the full. I'm
gonna get see. You know me, I ain't holding nothing back, bro. I'm gonna keep it
right.
I'm gonna keep it 2001.
You're a black man from A-Town, single black man. You in Ghana, you in the motherland. You know, what are the women like? How do women respond to you as a? And again, I know you don't look at it this way, but just for the purposes of my question,
Black American.
How they look at you as a black American?
I mean, you know, they cool. The women are nice. You know what I mean? It's, you know, let's say if you walking down the street, you see a sister. Most of the sisters, you stop them, they ain't gonna be like, what you want and all that. You know, they'll communicate with you. You know what I mean? They don't necessarily base it always on you being Black American, but there are some, they know you Black Americans, and they see like, okay, they say ding, 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 you know, might be some money there or whatever. But, you know, overall, man, you know, the women are nice women, most of the women are very honorable human beings, which is all our Black queens are for the most part. You know, then you got some of this westernized, you know, watching the TVs and all that. But overall, man, you know, Ghanaian women are beautiful sisters and, you know, cool people. You know, truly attractive human beings, very smart. And, you know, some of the women in the village, you know, who may not necessarily have high levels of education, but they have high levels of principle people, you know what I mean? And, you know, the people are beautiful, man, you know, and some of the stuff that I do in the village, you know, I have some sisters that I'm cool with, where we're like, you know, I want some jollof rice, which is one of my favorite foods. You know, I love jollof rice. I eat fish, so there's all kind of fish that, you know, they even sell like octopus on the road, like, because, you know, you got the Atlantic Ocean there, so we get everything there. But, you know what I'm saying? You know, if I'm hungry or something, my sister hook me up. And like I said, my neighbor, she washes my clothes, you know. It's community, bro. We got community. That's another thing. Like, we take care of each other, you know what I'm saying? If they eating and they see me, you hungry, coach? You know, they cook something, you know, vice versa, you know. The elder in my neighbor, I go, she like mango. So when I'm in the village, I bring her some mangoes, you know. So, but the women, the women, they cool, you know what I mean? They beautiful people. And then, you know, one of the things that's unfortunate I've seen, Nathan, is a lot of our African American sisters, you know, they be getting tricked by these Ghanaian guys. Like, they meet them on Facebook and sell them a bill of goods. It's almost like they got a binder on meeting women on Facebook, bro. And they had some of these sisters come over to Africa, and they realize this cat ain't got no money or none of that, bro. So, game is game everywhere, brother. But but like I said, overall, the brothers is good people. The sisters is, the women is good people. And I'll be honest, definitely attractive. Ain't never displeasing to the eyes throughout the whole country. So yeah.
Okay, so the pancakes are stacked right.
Hey, bro, I'm just gonna say it like this, bro.
All right.
I'm seeing a bunch of natural Nicki Minaj's. I'll leave it there.
I'll leave it like that. Sister Sandra wants to know, how are the elders living, with families or what?
Oh, the elders, like one of the things is, and this is something we used to do, we gotta get back to, they might have a family home, like would be grandma's house or grandma and granddaddy's house. They keep that home, and then they go on with their life, but they always come back to that one home. And then one thing about, like on Saturdays, Nathan, like Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays, normally that's a time for homegoings, funerals, and as well as weddings. But when it's a funeral, bro, you'll see elders walking miles, 3, 4, 5 miles to go to a funeral, brother. The elders walk around. They healthy because they move around in the sun. And and then speaking of funerals, bro, that's a celebration, bro. They go get a DJ. They go get some speakers like you at Bogart's, bro, with a DJ. And they celebrate for 2 or 3 days. They put the life in the ground. Then the folks celebrate, brother. And the people come and people who come to the homegoing, they bring food, just like we do repast and all that, but they have a DJ, bro. They be jamming, brother. So it might be 3 funerals in the same area, and it's jumping up 2, 3 days. They celebrating. Ain't no a whole bunch. You don't never see a whole bunch of like wailing and things of that nature. You know what I mean? But everybody respect the elders. The elders is important. They're highly important. So that family house, they keep that family house. And then, a lot of young people, young ladies, young men, they stay with their parents until they get married. Those kinds of, strong principle traditions. That person might be 30 still with their parents because, they ain't got married yet, or things like that. You know what I mean? And then, it'd be stuff like this, Nathan. Like I might be at the park and I want some water. I can ask a guy as old as 25 years old to go get me some water. He ain't finna say, wow. He's like, okay, you coach, you're elder. All right, no problem. You know what I mean? So it's very communal, very, like I said, the more we are connected with them, once they see that we're really authentic people, all those little silly barriers fall. You know what I mean? And then the families, family traditions is very important. You know what I mean? And I do have to say this, brother. They do Christianity at a whole nother level, like for real. White Jesus, all that. It's deep. So. Yeah,
that's real deep, man. That sounds like we could just catch up on another show and just spend some time.
Oh yeah, it's deep. It's something that we should, because it's deep, brother. But what I learned, like this elder who took me on this on my birthday when I went to Elmina's dungeon that morning, he shared with me. He's like, the colonizers came, and he gave me an example. He said, the robes that like the Pope or like the Catholic priests wear, the big robes. He said the reason they wear those big robes, he said they have pockets in the inside. And so you got to remember, Ghana was like the gold coast. It was like literally gold. Like you can go walk around like the shoreline to pick up gold. So around, the dungeons is around Atlantic Ocean shoreline. He said, yeah, they come and they had the big robes and tell our ancestors, close their eyes. We're gonna show you God. And while our ancestors' eyes would be closed, he said they would squat down to pick gold up and put it in the insides of these big robes, the gold. So this is something a 75-year-old elder was dropping some knowledge on me when he was walking me through Elmina, showing me where a lot of places where ancestors were being held before being placed on the ships. And then this is another thing that I didn't know until I learned while I was there. It's called a last bath. So our ancestors walked over like 300 miles before they even got to the area of the shoreline, Nathan. And like when they would walk, if one was weak, they would tie ancestors to a tree and beat them to where their back would bleed, so that wild animals would go towards them versus following the caravan. And so when he got to the last bath, and I'm actually going to go to that site in the next couple of months, slave owners would bathe our ancestors and then brand them. So by the time they got to these slave dungeons, that's where they would be one of the first places they would have the auctions. They would auction our people off. So our ancestors was walking 300 miles before they even got to the place where they were placed on the ship. So we got to understand, it's deep what happened to us. But like I said, my life it's been a mercy and a blessing, brother. It's beautiful. I'm excited. I'm humbled, and learning more. I want to learn more, to share more. I want to create more opportunities for us to come. And definitely we're gonna take some youth over, brother. That's something I shoot for in 2022. Get some youth over. I got some other ideas. I ain't gonna put them out there yet. But in terms of youth and whatnot, but yeah, we need to get some youth come over so they can see, so they can connect, with the motherland, and so they can understand how they bless, and stop being, some of our kids are, it's kind of spoiled, but I blame it on the adults. I don't blame it on the kids, it's the adults. The adults direct what happens with the future leaders, you know what I mean? So
Most deaf. But Brother Nadir, man, it's been a pleasure. I really, really appreciate the time you made for us this morning. Where can people who might want to support, or they just want to get at you and talk with you, how can they contact you?
Okay. So I'm gonna give them 3. So if you want to contact me on Facebook, I'm on Facebook Messenger. My name ISHAQ, last name NADIR. You can add me as a friend there. If you want to contact me, if you have WhatsApp, that's the way the international. You can contact me up. You got to put +1, then 704-496-0012. You can contact me on WhatsApp. My email is topcatcoach1. So it's TOPCATCOACH and the number 1 @gmail.com. And then if you want to donate to me, Cash App is $Coach Nadir. And just to remind the people, November the 28th from 4 to 9 in the Valley Shopping Center, it's called El Marich Place. We'll be doing a celebration. And part of the proceeds of the celebration, Nathan, goes to my scholarship. Me and my schoolmate from middle school to high school, Lydia Buckner. May God bless her soul. She passed with cancer 7 years ago. And I started a scholarship at Purcell, which is LBWW, Lydia Buckner, William Wimpy Woods Alumni Scholarship. And then the other proceeds will go to Wimpy's Journey to Ghana Mission. Oh, let me say this real quick. The Manifest 21 is still collecting shoes and other items. So what I'm actually going to do, Nathan, is on November the 28th, I'm going to rent out a large U-Haul. And I'll be putting this out on Facebook where people can, all you do is box up the items, whatever it is. If you want to bring a flat screen TV, a mattress, furniture, whatever, you bring it to this location. But if it's something that can fit in a box, you put it in a box. And there's a gentleman in Fairfield that's from Ghana that ships things over to me. And what I want to do is on December the 19th, I'm launching the Manifest 21 event in Ghana, where we start giving out these shoes and things of that nature. So these are the ways to connect with me. And I'm gonna have a U-Haul in the Valley on November the 28th. We just bring the box, label what it is, and then and then we get it shipped over. And I'm doing a YouTube next year, Nathan, called Wimpy's Journey. So a YouTube channel. So getting out into that, what I mean. And actually even possibly make a CD. When I was jogging, Nathan, people don't know, like growing up in Bible where I could sing a little bit and play the drums and the bongos. So I was jogging, Nathan, that day I was doing 12 miles, and and it came to me. In the motherland, you must understand. In the motherland, Sankofa. And Sankofa means return and retrieve. So, these kinds of things. So, hey man, gonna live, gonna try to touch every part of life that the Creator give to me, and not look back. So these are the ways. And like I said, I'll post everything up there if you want to donate. It's money, it's $Coach, COACH, Nadir, NADIR. And I want to thank every person who sent donations to me, every person that when I put my posts and do my lives, it gave me positive vibrations. So it couldn't have been, it's definitely, you all have kept me motivated, kept me going forward. So I love my brothers and sisters, friends in Cincinnati and around the country who I know, and man, just doing the work. And Nathan, real quick, I've started training at this elementary school by my house. So I got 12 kids I started with. So in the future, you'll see it'll be Coach 1, Top Cat League. I'm starting a league for little kids. So, just teaching what I've been blessed with it. And I say this. There was a man named Bobby Jelks who took me, Nathan, in like 89, 90 at the Friars Club. And he said, I'm going to teach you some stuff you're going to be able to give the kids at another level. So I always want to give thanks and homage to, he had passed, Bobby Jelks, who, gave me some pearls that I've been able to evolve with the basketball. My organization is Top Cat, which stands for Critical Athletic Thinking, Top Cat. So stay tuned. I'm going to be trying to get stuff done, do as much as I can do in terms of getting information out, sharing the love while I'm here. So, man, once again, thank you, brother. Once again, really, really thank you for what you're doing. Continue to do it, man. Don't stop. And I know you ain't gonna set no limits. You know what I mean? I can see in the future, the Nathan Ivey Radio Show.
Hey, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for coming on, man.
Yeah, love you, brother. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
That's Brother Nadir right there. I appreciate him. And that's a great Friday show, man. I appreciate Miss Ebony J for coming on today and talking about the I Am Queen Awards. And then Brother Nadir, you spent an hour with us, man. And just giving us something positive to think about, just something positive. There might even be somebody in the audience might even have the resources and whatever it takes to reach out and maybe you go to Ghana, maybe you start, something there, that entrepreneurial hustle. I brought that up with intentionality because from what I'm reading, China is making a lot of investments in the continent, in various countries in the continent of Africa. And I keep thinking, why can't we? Why can't we? Who would do it better than us? So it could be something that might be on your radar screen. You might have the resources and the wherewithal to make that happen. Or you might be thinking about going to the continent of Africa for a trip, and you might think about going to Ghana. You know what I'm saying? Now you know somebody from Cincinnati. And I know Brother Nadir, he's a very serious man, very friendly guy, way better than me as an athlete in terms of playing ball, way better than me. But a good guy. So now you know somebody, you might be able to reach out to him via Facebook and y'all can connect. Who knows? Who knows where a simple conversation can grow to? I have no idea, but I know it's possible. So I want to leave you with that, with some momentum taking you into your weekend, something positive. I hope you have an excellent Friday and a great weekend. It's the weekend before Thanksgiving. So whatever your plans are, I hope it comes through for you in a big way. And yeah, he's still back here. He says, I will help anyone. And from what I know about the brother, I believe it. I believe it 100%. So he gave you the contact information. You can find him on Facebook. If this show will still be up, so if you can't remember all of the numbers and everything he gave, it'll still be up. You can go back and check it out. And please share this live stream in this show. Don't forget, coming up this Sunday, you've got Edna Howe and Straight Talk Live Sunday at 10 a.m. And then, of course, at 5:30 p.m., you've got the lovely ladies from the Melanin Insights podcast. Also, don't forget this Sunday, how to keep from losing your mind. Learn how to focus and be happy. This is a live stream event brought to you by our friends over at Renew Community Church. And you can check them out. Check them out on Facebook at Cincy Renew, CINCI Renew, or on YouTube at Renew Community Church live stream. So judging by the comments, I think people got something out of it. Great. That's my mission is complete. Have an excellent rest of your day, family. Remember our motto: winners focus on winning. Losers focus on winners. I'm sorry, on winning. So stay focused. I'm sorry, on winners. I got a little distracted there. Brother Nadir sending me messages still. Yeah, I'll get it in for you, brother, for sure. For sure. So again, winners focus on winning. Losers focus on winners. So stay focused and stay winning, and we'll talk real soon. Until Monday morning, bright and early, I'm Nathan Ivey, and I'm out.
You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a f***, that's what they don't understand.
Back again like flu season. I broke records while loose leafing. I'm coming down my roof, leaving. Don't give a I don't care. Did the for my lonesome. No wonder now I'm on one. No shortcuts on that long run. All I really want is my share. Get on my God, I might tell them it's nothing. In the discussion, all them feelings I throw on my pain on percussion. The disgusting. I hear them bragging about that they did, and it do not move me, not in the least. They ain't been dropping no seeds in the soil, but swear that you almost spotted the feast. I've been on go mode, show mode, showboat, robo.